My name is James Rowlands, and I am a lifelong wrestling fan. In 2015, I started a podcast with my friend, Dan White, reviewing the WWE Network and seeing if it's worth the $9.99 a month. It was. And since then, every month we watch the latest WWE pay-per-views, NXT, and now 205 Live. Still continuing our journey through the network, watching ECW, WCW, and all its classic content. Until we've watched it all, we are with you, and we are the WNR. Yes, hello, I am James Rowlands, and as always I'm joined by...
Dan White.
And it is episode 116 today, and it is work roundup. And what better way to start than some 205 Live catch-up. So we are 205 Live, episode 34, the 18th of July. And Dan, how did we start things?
We kick things off with a video package reviewing the history between Mustafa Ali and Drew Gulak, which boils down to Ali's high-flying style... versus Gulak's ground game. Vic Joseph and Corey Graves welcome us to the show as they preview Akira Tozawa and Ariya Daivari, which will take place later tonight. And then we start off with Mustafa Ali versus Drew Gulak, a 2 out of 3 falls match.
Well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad, and we're going to see this starting off on 205 Live. But these men have been feuding for the past few weeks. What have you thought of this feud, Dan?
Again, you know, it's just another one that starting to go on for a bit. You know, we got a bit annoyed with the Brian Akira Tozawa angle. That went on for a little while, and now this is, you know, it's going on for a bit. I'd like to see, you know, fresh matchups, even a few fresh faces.
Yeah, do you think it is getting a little bit stale now with the talent? Like, we know...
Well, it is, you know, when Ali's going against Gulak week in, week out, you know, we had Kendrick going against Tozawa. We've had, like, you know... And then they get rid of talent like Aries.
Mm. Yeah, which I think it is perplexing. What I think they maybe should do as well is, like, because people are losing every week, we talk about Noam Dar's losing streak or other guys like this as well. Why don't you get in not old cruiserweights, but, you know, Rey Mysterio, Jushin Thunder Liger, you know, people like that to come in, maybe take a loss and maybe be a little bit more special, you know, younger guy over a veteran rather than them sacrificing themselves each week, you know.
Well, you know,
Ali going to go for the crucifix on Gulak, try and get down. Exactly, or bring down Enzo Amore, that could be a good thing as well, because he's got a lot of crowd that likes him. To go against Neville, you know, maybe he could be the man to stop the undefeated streak of Neville. You never know.
Why don't Mojo come down and fight?
Because he's not
everyone.
under 205, Dan. You're being ridiculous.
Well,
here.
he should drop a weight class.
No, you're being silly. Yes,
well,
Ali.
The difference with Enzo Amore and the 205 lot.
Well,
the 205 lot got.
I would love you to go on about Mojo, but Ali has just pinned Gulak for the first fall here tonight, and Gulak saying to Ali, "You can't do any wrestling." Was out wrestled by him there. Very technical pin by Ali. 1-0, and Gulak's kind of lost his shit at the moment as well. It's a no-fly zone, and Ali didn't need it. So now Gulak's going to have to take his time. I mean, what does Gulak have to do now? I mean, one fall down straight away.
Well, you know, he's got to try and get back in the game as quickly as he can and tie it up, really. Maybe go off the top rope.
Well, there is no room for error, not even the old beating someone down with a chair to get the fall. You can't even do that now, Gulak. You're in serious trouble, and you're being out-wrestled by Ali at the moment in time. But as I said, that he caught Ali with a big back elbow, sends him into the corner now.
Headlock takedown and dropping the elbow onto Ali's chest. Goes for the cover. But Ali kicking out at 1.
Gulak trying to send Ali to the apron. Ali holds on.
Oh, flips back into the ring. Rolls up Gulak. Trying another cheeky cover.
Yeah, that's what caught Gulak out in the first place, but managing to kick out.
Oh.
Now Ali's got Gulak, but oh my God.
Gets deposited over the top rope and eliminated from the Royal Rumble, landing on them wafer-thin mats below. Is Gulak going to go flying?
He'll take his time to figure out a game plan. Ali's aerial offense is awesome. I got to say, I mean, I've been really impressed by Mustafa Ali, and it can only be good. I hope he comes out the winning side of this, because he's one of those guys that has definitely got a lot of potential. And now Gulak with a headbutt, and if people thought cruiserweights were just those guys that flew around the ring, I mean, Gulak is a completely different style, isn't he, Dan? You know,
he is indeed. Yes, you know, he's a mat-based wrestler, and he can wrestle with the best of them.
I mean, in comparative terms, you look at maybe someone like Dean Malenko back in the Cruiserweight Glory days, the more technical side. I'm not saying that they're on the same level, but I mean, with Drew Gulak, he's been a bit all around, isn't he? This is his first proper one-on-one feud in 205 Live. I don't know how well we can do, It'd be interesting to see how he recovers, because this no-fly zone, like I say, can only go one way, can't it, Yeah, you can't ban flying from 205. It just wouldn't make sense,
You have to go on a one-man crusade, taking out every flying wrestler.
Yeah. And would that eventually lead to Neville? Because Neville does high-flying moves sometimes, doesn't he, so...
majority of the wrestlers do.
Oh, and Ali, with a little bit of trouble, but the spinning heel kick takes Gulak down, and now looks to be on a comeback. Gulak in serious trouble.
Irish whip to the corner. Oh, but Ali slipping out the ropes and out of the harm's way. Is he going to go flying?
Oh, beautiful kick to the face. And now he's going to come rolling in with a net breaker. Oh!
Hits it. Gulak's in trouble. Is Ali going to go up top?
Oh, Gulak getting out of the way at harm's way. But like you say, you might see Ali flying. Oh!
Just a drop kick to the back of Gulak's head through the second and bottom rope.
And now Ali on the outside to get Gulak. Oh, fucking hell.
Gulak throws Ali into the ring announcer's area, but Ali lands on his feet and jumps off the barricade and takes out Gulak.
A beautiful Hurricane Runner on the outside, but that no-fly zone was caught in the middle there. It might be broken. That's not good for Gulak. Did Ali maybe hit his head there as well on a cameraman? Ali rolls Gulak back in.
Oh, what's he going to go for? Wow, not a lot, because Gulak's got hold of Ali's ankle and pulls him off. Face first into the mat.
And now Gulak's got the cravat in and he sends Ali to the second turnbuckle.
Dangerous.
It's a vicious style of Gulak, isn't it? And now, nearly had him. He's got him now. He's dragging Sleeper on Ali.
Ali taps out quick as you like. Gulak keeps it held in though, trying to put Ali out for the next fall. Referee trying to break the lock, but his big muscly arms are no match for Gulak.
Well, I think the damage might be already done. And we see what Ali is talking about tapping out so quickly. The reason is, he knows he's got another fall coming up, He knows he's not going to try and fight it when it could do further damage the next time round. But it is 1-1 now. Gulak does get the submission there. Both men are going to try and fight, and that neck is going to cause Ali all sorts of trouble. Gulak looks ready to finish him off. He's taking it up a level. That's what we asked. Can Gulak do this on 205 Live? And he's showing it right now against Ali.
But is he on the Neville level yet?
Who is on the Neville level on 205 Live? Have we actually seen someone reach that Neville level? I mean, Aries came close.
I was going to say Austin Aries, but they fucking decided to get rid of him.
But Gulak... Oh!
Ali finally making it back to his feet, calling Gulak on, and the bell sounds for the third and final fall, but... Gulak straight out the blocks with a vicious kick to Ali's head.
He's looking to finish off Mustafa Ali now. He picks him up for the suplex.
Oh, but Ali rolls him up in a small package.
Oh, but Gulak manages to kick out. Oh, my word.
Truck tie hold takedown there by Gulak and drops the elbow to the back of Ali's previously injured neck. Rolls him up for the cover, but only getting a 2 count.
2. And now going back to what he knows best, the sleeper hold, but... Like you say, look at the viciousness of Gulak using the fingers, getting in Ali's face, trying to stop the breathing of Ali as well. Any way to disrupt that, Ali in all sorts of trouble. But the crowd behind Ali, and that's a credit to him. Usually the crowd not really watching the action, even though we do see a few empty seats.
Well, this is, of course, filmed after SmackDown, so, a lot of the SmackDown faithful have buggered off, but the seats are being filled by the seat fillers, which we saw happening when we was at SmackDown.
And that's what they do. When the seats on camera, they just fill people in. You got to remember, like, kids maybe coming out to see the show. It is getting a little bit late now as well, so take them back. And now we see Ali finally finding out the corner. He's got Gulak, and he's going to go Hurricane Runner. Oh!
Gulak catches him and kind of like power bombs him down to the mat, goes for the cover, but Ali managing to kick out.
Ah. Gulak cannot believe it, but now he looks like he's smirking, Dan.
No, he's just got a grin on his face. He hasn't got a cigarette in his gob.
And he picks Ali up, looking to finish this off. Back suplex time, maybe.
Oh, Ali lands on his feet, pushes Gulak against the rope.
Reverse Hurricane Runner sends Gulak head first to the canvas. Can Ali capitalise on that? We see the slow motion replay. So the power drive is banned, but that move is still able to do in 205. And Gulak, quite right, going to the outside. I mean, I'll take a count-out victory after that punishment. Well, Mustafa Ali going to the top. He's going to dive on the outside to Gulak.
Oh, he's going to do some flying.
Is this a good idea? Oh!
Takes out Drew Gulak and may have taken out himself in the process.
A beautiful move there by Ali, and like he's down and out. And referee's counting. Come on, we want a decisive victory in this one. It is beautiful, you know. I don't care what people say about diving. It is a work of art. As Ali throws Gulak in, but he's holding that neck. It's caused him all sorts of trouble.
It's not as if he was dropped on his head and compressed his neck into his spine, you know.
Here comes Ali.
Flying crossbody. Gulak rolls through. 1, 2.
No! Oh. Maybe a handful of tights by Gulak, but couldn't get the pin because Ali kicked out. Now both men in the corner.
Oh, Ali going for a spinning DDT, but gets suplexed into the turnbuckle.
And that is it. Oh!
Ali still keeping in this match and managing to kick out.
Fair play to Ali. And Gulak seemed to enjoy dishing out the punishment on Ali, showing his sadistic side. Maybe got it from his friend Randy Orton. Ali trying to get his bearings about him, but he's backed up. He has to use the ropes to get up. It has been a war between these two men here tonight. Gulak going to try and attack Ali. Ali both sending Gulak away.
Oh, Gulak charging in, but Ali lifting the foot straight into Gulak's face. Gulak goes with a headbutt to the midsection of Ali. Catches Ali's foot, but Ali catches him with a step up enziguri. Swinging DDT, plants Gulak into the mat. 1, 2.
Oh!
Gulak with the kick out.
Oh, Ali cannot believe the Gulak in half there. Couldn't get the pin. This match, incredibly, still goes on. Both men in serious amount of trouble. Could be seriously injured here, Dan. Gulak might have internal bleeding. We just don't know at this moment. And Ali might be suffering from a stinger.
Might be suffering from a broken frickin' neck.
Now Ali's going to try and finish off Gulak. These men stuck at one apiece, and Gulak going to go slam.
Oh, but Ali with a roll up.
Beautiful by Gulak, spinned him round with a dragon sleeper. Oh!
But Ali reversed it into a pinning attempt. Gets a near fall, but gets turned inside out by Gulak when he finally gets up to his feet. Gulak with a cover attempt, but Ali managing to get his shoulder up at 2.
2, and I say last second there for Ali, and that was a beautiful stream of moves between the two men. It looked like Gulak had a dragon sleeper in, but Ali showing his wrestling ability, managing to reverse it, and then the power of Gulak to send Ali inside out. And now Gulak, who was smirking earlier, and now has got other ideas.
He's looking at the top rope. Is he going to go up and do some flying of his own?
Well, we all know what happened the last time Gulak went to the top down against Ali.
We do indeed. It horribly backfired on him.
He got air sickness from that and lost the match, but he's going to try it again. He's on the second rope. His knees buckling out from under him.
Making his way to the top.
You crazy bastard, Gulak.
He's taking his sweet ass time about it, though.
Is he going to do it? It's no fly zone, but is he going to take the chance? Is he going to contradict himself to put Mustafa Ali? You don't have to do it. It's too late, though, because Ali's recovered.
Hurricane Rana off the top.
And it broke Gulak's back. He doesn't want any of it. Here comes Ali off the top. Oh!
Hey, inverted 450. 1, 2, 3.
Oh!
And Ali wins 2-1.
Fair play, Mustafa Ali. Getting the job done. But a great match, Dan.
Bloody good match, yeah. You know, it was very well played out between the two of them. I like it when it goes to one apiece because, you know, again, it could go either way. Gulak thought about going up top to enter the fly zone, but, you know, regretted it halfway through before he had a chance to climb back down. Backfired on him.
Yeah, I mean, Gulak's fucked himself up again, but now this has got to be the end of it because Ali has proven that high-flying moves get the job done. When done correctly, you have to be able to pull these moves off. As we see Ali definitely be able to. Like Gulak reacting there. The Hurricane Rana. And then that is a thing of beauty by Ali getting the job done.
Up next, we see a recap of Ariya Daivari versus Akira Tozawa from last night, when Titus O'Neil decided to end the match for Tozawa when his shoulder injury became obvious. Tozawa was not happy with O'Neil's decision and wanted a rematch tonight. And a clip of Apollo Crews and Tozawa is shown from earlier today. Crews tries to explain that O'Neil was just trying to protect his investment. Crews can see Tozawa isn't healed up but supports him either way.
Well, backstage, Lee Brian Kendrick is shown heading to the ring. So the next match is Lee Brian Kendrick versus Devin Bennett. Before the match gets started, Kendrick talks to Bennett about Jack Gallagher and how people should fight the right way, his way. Not like Gallagher, who has goofy gimmicks and are like clowns. He thinks Bennett should just quit right now. Do you think you can beat me? And Bennett says, yes, I can.
Can I just say, the likes of Brian Kendrick and the likes of Drew Gulak, why are they so concerned about what everyone else can and can't do? They should worry about themselves.
Yeah, they should try and be successful rather than being on a losing end on most of the feuds they're in as well. So the match gets started and Kendrick instantly beats down Bennett.
Are you a fighter or are you a clown? Kendrick yells at his opponent over and over. Bennett finally gets in the strike, which enrages Kendrick, who hits a big kick and locks in the captain's hook for the win.
Yeah, so the winner, Lee Brian Kendrick via submission, and then last week's Cedric Alexander versus Noam Dar in an I Quit match. Cedric eventually won after he put Dar's arm between a chair and stomped continuously on it until Dar quit. Post-match, Dar breaks up with, Alicia Fox! You mean nothing to me!
Backstage, Dasha Fuentes is with TJP, and we see a recap of TJP and Rich Swann having a back-to-back matches with some poor soul. TJP was able to win his match quicker than Swann. TJP says Swann can't stand coming in second to him. First in the CWC, now that match. TJP says Rich is his friend and he does want to make it up to him. So next week, TJP is going to arrange some real competition. He'll pick a partner, Swann will pick a partner, and they will have a tag match.
Ariya Daivari versus Akira Tozawa. And Daivari out first, he gets on the mic and promotes his home country of Iran and an Iranian gold medal freestyle wrestler from the 50s. Tozawa out next with his shoulder taped up and no Titus. Daivari tries to focus on the shoulder but has zero luck early on as Tozawa lays him out multiple times.
Daivari goes for a splash in the corner, completely misses. Daivari to the apron, yanks Tozawa's arm on the ropes, and now Daivari has some momentum and goes back to work on Tozawa's shoulder. Multiple moves crank on the bad shoulder as Tozawa yells in agony. He finally gets Daivari down and gets back into the ring. And it's not long before Daivari is back on the floor and Tozawa hits his big suicide dive.
Well, probably not the smartest move, and he's now in a lot of pain as the referee begins his 10 count of both men. Action moves back into the ring. Tozawa a quick pin. 2 count. 2. Shining Wizard by Tozawa lands flush. Another pin. Another 2. The crowd gets the chant going as he gets caught by Daivari, who continues to focus on the shoulder.
Daivari goes to the top and lands a frog splash on Tozawa's back. He goes for the pin, but only a 2 count.
2.
Despite trying to hold the tights.
Cheating bastard.
Tozawa tries for a roll-up, and his own handful of trunks gets the 1, 2, 3. Daivari is not happy, and after the match throws Tozawa into the ring post. Tozawa is in a lot of pain on the outside, and we're out.
So yes, Tozawa gets the win, but gets beaten up in the end. So can an injured Tozawa get a rematch for the Cruiserweight title? We'll see as 205 Live moves on. And we go to episode 35, which was the 25th of July.
The recent cancellations of Talking Smack and Unfiltered with Renee Young on the WWE Network have sparked speculation that WWE might do the same thing to 205 Live. The cost for producing the Cruiserweight exclusive show is low, since it uses all the same equipment as SmackDown, so there is little chance of the show going anywhere anytime soon. However, the writing team needs to find a way to make the show more interesting, or viewership levels might drop to the point where WWE has no choice but to can it.
So Neville and a handful of other superstars deliver great performances every week, but the non-title feuds have been low quality for a long time, and that's what we've been saying, haven't we, Dan, you know? Hopefully things will change now that the WWE Universe has got to know the roster a little better. Let's take a look at everything that happened on this week's episode of 205 Live. So the first match was Daivari versus Neville.
Yes, and Akira Tozawa joined the commentary table to watch Ariya Daivari take on Neville. This was an odd heel versus heel pairing, but we've seen WWE do more matches like this recently, so it may become more commonplace in the future.
Well, Daivari win-loss record on 205 Live is possibly the worst in the division. Well, it's not.
No Amdars.
No Amdars. Come on, I know I've written that down, but I don't mean it. So it was a little weird seeing put cruiserweight champion.
Yes, despite Neville's dominance, he is great at making sure his opponents look good at the end of the match. He sold Daivari's offense in a way that made the Persian Lion look better than he ever has before.
Well, but in a shocking twist, Daivari ended up picking up the win by count-out after shoving Neville into Tozawa. This was a solid match, but it won't get Daivari into a title push anytime soon. And we've written a couple of notes and highlights from it as well.
Yeah, the crew was still putting the ringside area back together at the top of the show following Kevin Owens' hissy fit at the end of SmackDown.
Well, Neville gave an interview at the top of the show. His shtick is starting to get a little old. He needs to lose the title so he can go back to being a vicious heel, pursuing the valiant champion.
Daivari dedicating his performance to legendary Iranian wrestlers is a cool addition to his character. He still needs a lot of work in other areas, but paying tribute to his idols humanises him.
Well, Lee Brian Kendrick venting his frustrations. Lee Brian Kendrick came to the ring and complained about how he tries to teach everyone important lessons every week, but no one listens to him.
He singled out Jack Gallagher as the target of his insults. He made fun of Gentleman Jack's white complexion and his red hair, just like John Cena did over Sheamus, while showing altered images of him on a big screen. They ended up leading to a final picture of Gallagher dressed like a clown.
Well, Kendrick is an incredible talent, but he's not been given anything to work with. This was clearly a case of a superstar working from someone else's script instead of coming up with his own promo.
Jackie Boy said taking the high road with Kendrick wouldn't work, so he planned on knocking his head off. Kendrick left the ring before he had a chance and put this segment out of its misery.
So, WWE also played a video highlighting Mustafa Ali and Drew Gulak's final showdown from last week before this segment. It made their feud look better than several weeks of actual matches ever did. It's another example of WWE's editing team being the best in the business.
And Gallagher's suits are always on point. He must have a huge collection. And at least Kendrick didn't dress as Gallagher this time. This feud has already worn out its welcome, but their final encounter should be great considering the level of talent both men possess.
Amen to that. So we go to our next match, which is TJP. He did say last week that he'll have a tag team partner. Rich Swann can pick a tag team partner, and we'll see what happens. And they have done. TJP, who did your man pick, Dan?
TJP picked Tony Nese.
And Rich Swann picked...
someone who looks nothing like him, Cedric Alexander.
No, well, TJP and Rich Swann's friendly feud continued this week with a tag team match.
Nese and Alexander almost got into a fight backstage, but TJP and Swann kept things from getting physical until they got to the ring.
These four men have been part of the division since its inception, but they've had different levels of success. Swann and TJP are former champions, while Alexander and Nese have been held back by injuries and poor bookings, respectively. So let's have a look at the match. It has just started here. And it's Rich Swann and Tony Nese in there. And Rich changes in-ring gear a little bit. I mean, I bet he'd done that a couple of months ago, didn't he? Well, he's not usually wearing trousers. I don't know if he is or not. But and look at this. Beautiful by both men. These two might be the best pure athletes in 205 Live.
Well, Tony Nese is the premier athlete.
And Rich Swann, of course, former Cruiserweight champion, tagging in Cedric Alexander. And
it's Alexander's chance to work over Nese, but Nese finally gets the upper hand on him. And he's giving him a bit of mat work, but Alexander managing to fight out.
Yeah, showing off what they can do. I mean, Alexander's his first chance to shine, really, without being in Alicia Fox. Without being a part of the Alicia Fox Namdar rivalry, so hopefully he can shine by himself. And like I say, Tony Nese, he looks like a heavyweight, fights like a cruiserweight, he gets backed into Rich Swann's corner. And it's interesting.
Gets a tag in from Cedric Alexander.
It's an interesting team. Do you like this team of Swann and Alexander?
It's like a cruiserweight version of the New Day.
Can you say that? Yeah,
I just did. But you got a little Kofi Kingston and you got a skinny Biggie Langston.
Well,
they just need.
They need the Woods.
Woods.
Yeah, they need the Woods to join them in. Well, he's just been kicked to the back. And Swann and TJP, who do you think's better between these two? Do you like the feud first off between these two?
Yeah, they're both great wrestlers, aren't they? I prefer TJP. I don't think he's been used to his full potential. I think he's a great athlete and a brilliant wrestler.
Well, the thing I like about this feud as well is the fact it's not just like an old veteran wrestler or a guy saying you shouldn't do this, you should do it my way, like we've seen countless amounts of times. This is a friendly rivalry between the two. You know, which one is better? It's probably one of my favourite rivalries in wrestling, because then you can move it on to a proper heel turn. You know, if Alexander's always got TJP's number, then in the end he turns heel to actually get the advantage. You know,
again?
Well, yeah, but at least it's a proper way of telling a story. You know, at least you can see it in front of us, and they explain it more than just like, oh, I don't like you because of the way you wrestle. You know, it's more of a personal thing. These are friends, and they want to prove which one is better. And at the moment, with Alexander and TJP, they're showing off their skills.
Both men doing really well. A few brilliant exchanges between the two, drop kicks, head scissors, and the like. Oh, Nice gets sent out to the outside, and he goes flying.
And now
Cedric Alexander going to go flying. Oh,
so Swann. Oh,
I like
it's
that.
awesome.
And both men with their perfectly synchronised double manoeuvre there. Alexander flipping off the turnbuckle, and Alexander flipping over the top rope, and Swann flipping off the second turnbuckle, and their timing couldn't have been more.
That was absolutely lovely by both men there. And it's been a really good match with Alexander trying to keep TJP down, but he kicks out.
Oh.
And now he's working on his arm. I mean, TJP, though, it's difficult, isn't it? Because I know he's obviously your number one pick and he's such a huge fan. But to have that pressure of being the first Cruiserweight champion, to be the winner of the CWC, to be able to try and carry that momentum, it's at least still good that he's been treated as a star, you would say, you know?
Yeah, most definitely. You know, it's deservedly so as well. But again, you know, he's not had much more of a chance. He's kind of teamed up with Neville since, but, you know, he's then made the transition back into face, and he's having a friendly feud with his friend.
Yeah.
Friend.
But, you know, I think he's one of the wrestlers that could frustrate and out-wrestle Neville into actually winning his Cruiserweight Championship, personally.
I would say, we talked about the Neville level in the last episode, I would say probably these four men are the closest to Neville in that way. You know, with Tony Nese, I've always been impressed with him. He's obviously got the look. TJP, we know how good he is technically and the way he can fly. And I think with Rich Swann, you've probably got, aside from maybe Jack Gallagher, the most liked guy on the roster as well. I think there is something just likeable about Rich Swann, you know. And with Cedric Alexander, if you go back to his match against Kota Ibushi in the CWC, one of the matches of last year, we know Cedric Alexander can deliver. It's like we were talking about with the Alicia Fox thing. Just, it's not been done right at the moment, you know. So hopefully they can build from there. I would love to see a Alexander versus Neville straight up one-on-one match, because you know that it would be an awesome one.
But do you think these are kind of going through the motions now? Because, you know, as we said, the match quality is starting to slip. We've not really had a match of the year contender since we've seen like the brilliant ones from the Cruiserweight Championship.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. And it's difficult when you've got just like a certain amount of time. You know, you got your 10, 15 minutes, whatever it is. You got 3 matches each week, and they're trying to tell a story to be able to actually have a great match. I mean, like the Ali Gulak one from last week, it's a good match, isn't it? But it's not great. Like they are delivering it, like this one now. It's going to be a good match, but it just doesn't go up to that next level. Maybe they've been told to not do that because they don't want to overshadow, you know, the main roster, so to speak. But I think it's unfair when you say to them you can't do certain things. You know, you've got to go all out if you want the Cruiserweight division to be successful. Much like the women's one, you've got to say, right, do what you want to do, create the characters you want to create, and have matches that you want to have. You know.
Well, do you not think they should be introduced to either Raw or SmackDown and say, look, you know, it'll be like the Cruiserweight Championship of old. You can still face heavyweights, but you know, unless you're 205 or less, you can't go for it.
I think most definitely. I think the couple of things that should be done is, you know, like we saw in NXT with
or even on NXT, I think that'd be a perfect place for him.
Yeah, I think NXT really work, but I think like with Roderick Strong, the promos we saw about learning more about his family, more about himself, I think every cruiserweight should have that, and it should be shown on Raw. Raw is 3 hours. To have a little 5-minute, 2-minute promo of a wrestler to learn about him would make a whole lot of sense. And also with the purple ropes and you're making a normal show of Raw. It's not a part of the show. It's a little thing that happens, You know, that is
during
just
the show.
During the show,
Well,
yeah.
if you've got time on a 2-hour episode of SmackDown to watch a Raw match, then I don't see why you can't have, a couple of 15, 20-minute matches instead of having the fucking Fashion Files or something stupid like that. Or, or a 20-minute Enzo Amore fucking speech when he gets beaten up in 5.
Yeah, and this is a problem as well, because you've got the 20-minute openings of each show, 15 minutes setting up. The rest of it, that could be taken away, that could be given a match in its place instead, So there is definitely certain ways around it. And in this match, it has all been TJP at this moment in time, making sure Cedric can't get the tag. But it's been really crisp between all 4 men, and you can't say... You can't argue with that at the moment.
They've all been working really well together.
I mean, we talk about it, and this is the problem at the moment with WWE. The amount of talent in the roster, and they're just it right. The talent is there. The amount of great wrestlers who could do, fantastic things, and instead they're pushing the wrong people, or there's not enough time, And this is one of the things, and they have an idea, like, okay, let's have the UK guys. They have this big thing and introduce all the, they introduce 30 men, and then you don't see them, you don't hear from them, but they're still part of the roster. Same with the Mae Young Classic, you're going to have 32 women joined in. So now the roster already is going to be over like 300 people, and there's just not enough time or space for them,
But yet they're still going to show the same old faces day in, day out.
Yeah, exactly. It's still going to be the same guys on Monday Night Raw. No offence to Randy Orton on SmackDown, but he went straight from the Hall feud bang into the Rusev feud, didn't he? So it's like,
did you hear the fucking cheer he got though when he come out after Rusev's match?
Yeah, no,
shut up then.
Fair play to him. And Rich Swann's got the hot tag. He's in, baby, and he's on fire. And he takes Nice down with a spinning wheel kick and a pin.
Trying to get this over quickly. Or not quickly, but quickly for him. Since he just got in the ring.
Well, at the moment as well, Rich Swann is facing a 2-on-1 disadvantage, isn't he? Because the amount of punishment Alexander has taken not being in this match. And Swann there looked to get Nice, but Nice responded with a lovely right hand.
Swann there is sweating like a...
He is. He's sweating a lot as he gets caught with a huge forearm by Nice.
Catches Nice with a clothesline of his own and, looking to take Nice's head off, but Nice with the Matrix type backwards fall and then flips up, but gets caught with a combo of kicks from Swann.
Oh, he was doing well on Swann, like I say, until Swann dodged the low kick. And then like a ninja movie, Swann responded. And Rich already needs to tag out. Alexander's been beaten up, can barely get himself in the apron. Here comes TJP as well. And Cedric taking TJP down with the kicks.
Catches his foot, delivers a spinning back elbow. Handspring backflip, looking for something, but TJP had it scouted. Gets turned inside out. But Nice there with the save.
And I tell you what, Nice needed to come in there now then and help TJP. He was down and out. Rich Swann now with the chops to Tony Nice. Referee needs to get control of this.
Swann going to bounce off the ropes, but Nice had it well scouted and kind of trips Swann over. Takes him down to the outside and wheelbarrows him into the announce table.
Tony Nice looking as impressive as ever, back in the apron.
Alexander with an elbow knocking him off.
And now it's just TJP and Alexander. Oh, my God. Oh, well. Yeah, I don't know what that was.
So the referee saw his shoulder up when it was impossible, but didn't see Kevin Owens' shoulder up against AJ Styles.
It was a front stabber, I guess, by TJP. Referee wasn't in position. Perkins picking up detonation kick.
But Alexander there with the handspring spinning kick. Takes down Perkins. 1, 2. Perkins managing to kick out.
Fair play, TJP showing his toughness, but like we talked about, first cruiserweight champion of the modern era. Now Alexander's being serious because he's taken off his protection.
Is he being as serious as Lance Storm?
I think he's going to go, can I be serious for a minute, Dan? Alexander going to go springboard. But
gets pushed off by Tony Nice. Rolled up by Perkins. 2, 3. And like that, after a brilliant match, it finishes in a stupid little roll-up.
But the MVP of this match has got to be Tony Nice. He ran interference then beautifully. And we talked about Alexander and Swann being a good team. I'll tell you what, Nice and Perkins don't look too bad. TJP...
Yeah, you've got the skill and, the technique of Perkins with the strength of Nice.
I'm impressed by them. I think TJP and Tony Nice very impressive. I mean, what did you think of the match?
I thought it was a bloody brilliant match. You know, again, the finish, it's screwy enough to warrant a rematch for someone, but it's, you know, it was decisive.
Yeah. Well, Perkins TJP gets win over in a friendly rivalry against Rich Swann, even though he didn't get pinned. But no, fantastic match, and we got a couple of notes. When Nice came out, he delivered an entire promo during his entrance without a microphone. The majority of the fans in attendance probably have no idea what he was saying.
Nice is one of the only few superstars who has a physique perfect for action figures. Most people never resemble the body the companies give them for figures.
Yeah, it is true. You know, usually they are quite bulky. I think Nice, tight and ripped there. Fantastic shape. Swann and Alexander would make a great full-time tag team if WWE ever decided to let the Cruiserweights compete for other titles in the future. And that's the thing, if they would allow them to compete for other titles. You know?
Yes, and the ref totally screwed up a pin towards the end of the match, and you could see the look of confusion on TJP. Stopped counting at 1.
So 1. So that was our second episode 205. We move on to episode 36, which was the 1st of August.
The show started off with a recap of Neville injuring Akira Tozawa's shoulder. Neville's issues with Tozawa and Daivari were shown as well before the regular intro. Corey Graves and Vic Joseph hyped up Jinder Mahal versus Shinsuke Nakamura at SummerSlam before talking about Grand Metalik versus Tony Moore versus Daivari tonight.
Brian Kendrick came out to absolute dead silence before cutting a promo on Jack Gallagher, also to dead silence. Gallagher came out to do battle with him and hopefully finally end this feud.
So who's Dead Silence? Is he a new cruiserweight wrestler?
That is a good name for a wrestler, isn't it? Hey, Jack Gallagher. Manchester, England. Hey, Gentleman Jack, Dan, it's good to see him, isn't it?
It is bloody good to see Gentleman Jack, yes. You know, he's a favourite of ours, but is he starting to get a bit stale now?
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? Is he really a clown? Is it just a comedy character for Jack Gallagher? Can he go any further than he has done in the WWE? There has not been one 205 have not featured Jack Gallagher, and it is good to see him. And like I say, we hope for the best, but I don't know if this feud is the best thing for him. So it's going to be Jack Gallagher versus Kendrick. Oh!
Jack Gallagher comes straight out with a vicious elbow and a series of uppercuts and elbows and knee strikes.
Oh, not Tony knees. Look at the headbutts. He's using his head as the weapon. Well, Jack Gallagher's fired up here.
It's better than using his weapon as a head.
Referee pulling Jack away. But he's not finished yet.
Oh, takes him to the opposite corner, bounces his head off the top turnbuckle and delivers a uppercut and then back to the original corner he was in. Oh, another vicious uppercut there from Gallagher. He's coming out and he means business. I don't think he likes being called a clown.
Well, no, he's showing his serious side now. And he's vicious striking on Kendrick. Kendrick's not been able to cover. The referee's pulling him away. But yeah, Jack's showing that he's not all about the comedy. Oh!
And another vicious headbutt. Knocks Gallagher for 6, but done even worse to Kendrick.
Kendrick just trying to get away, holding on to the apron on the rope. Oh, fucking hell.
Gallagher just kicking Kendrick in the face.
And Kendrick is stuck here. Referee's counting. Oh.
And Jack Gallagher's been DQ'd, but I don't think that's going to stop him.
Well, Brian Kendrick has only disrespected him, disrespected everything about him and his country as he throws him into the barricade.
Our country.
Our country. Thank you very much. Go on, Jack. Put a pounding on Brian. Oh,
throws him into the barricade twice. And Kendrick hasn't even got a shot off in this match.
And now it's
into the LED screen. Gallagher means business.
Well, that's going to cause serious damage to Brian Kendrick. Gallagher doesn't look like he cares.
Rakes Kendrick's face up the LED screen.
Well, I've never seen Jack Gallagher like this before. He looks focused.
I know he's got William the 4th or 5th.
Oh, and Brian Kendrick's diving out of harm's way. And you imagine Jack was going to put a whip on him, like you say, with the umbrella. Well, have you ever seen a more serious Jack Gallagher, Dan?
I haven't, no. Kendrick's retreating like a coward.
What did you think of that then, Jack Gallagher? Finally showing a serious side against Brian Kendrick.
I think it's good of Gallagher, you know, showing a badass side that he's not to be messed with.
Well, I don't think this is over between these two men, but Jack is ready for a fight as we move on and up next, Dan.
Up next, Rich Swann was playing WWE 2K17 before TJP insulted him. TJP said he's better and they proceeded to have a long, drawn-out conversation. Swann challenged into a match next week, but TJP wanted a 2K17 match first.
Tony Nese came out to face Grand Metallic before bragging about his 8-pack. Bit like me, we've both got 8-packs. The only difference is mine is an 8-pack of Pepsi. Nese helping TJP beat Swann last week was shown before Nese bragged about his physique more. They kept lingering on his head while he said more stuff about how powerful he is. Grand Metallic cut a subtitle promo about how Nese is brawn, but his technique will fail him tonight. Did it, Dan?
Nese isn't Strowman.
Did it fail him tonight?
No, it didn't. No, Tony Nese defeated Grand Metallic. Nese shoved Metallic off a headlock so that he could pose. Metallic landed a series of arm drags, including a springing one off the ropes. He hopped to the apron and ate a big forearm, leading to Nese going for a baseball slide, missing to the floor and eating a fast Asai moonsault.
Well, Nese landed a gut buster for 2 before driving a knee to the gut a few times and flapjacking him for 2. Nese set him up to top to pose and got punched down the net, a crossbody for 2. A rope walk elbow drop got an earful for Metallic. Nese kicked him off the second rope, landing a kneeling knee strike, or the Tony Nese in the corner, to win it.
And Tozawa was shown stretching before his match with Daivari. Dasha Fuentes met with Neville, who was asked a question about who he wants to see win. Neville said that Titus O'Neil and Tozawa have been a thorn in his side for too long, so his response should be clear.
Well, he said he didn't even know Daivari existed until he was disrespected last week, and he truly doesn't care who wins because they will all fall to the kings of the cruiserweights.
Daivari came out and cut a promo about dedicating his win tonight and future to another Iranian champion. He is fighting for a nation, his nation, while Neville and Tozawa fight for themselves. Well, that was a strange babyface style promo for a heel to cut.
Well, up next we have got Akira Tozawa versus Daivari in a number 1 contenders match. Well, they locked up and Tozawa won that amid a sea of ah. His act is the only one that can really get the crowd. It's amazing, Tozawa. Oh my god, wait a minute. Tozawa going up to the top already. Daivari goes to the outside. Here comes Tozawa now.
Bouncing around in the ring, but Daivari makes his way back in and takes out Tozawa with a crossbody.
No, you got to remember Tozawa's got the injury, hasn't he? The injured arm that Neville did to him in the rings of Saturn, that devastating submission. Hold Daivari in control now. And what a right hand by Tozawa.
Oh, and a Hurricane Rana takes Daivari down. Tozawa with a big right hands. He can't use his left because it's all strapped up.
Well, Tozawa's at a disadvantage. Would you say Daivari is the favourite in this match?
No, I still think Tozawa is, even though he's got one arm.
Yeah, one arm man. He's doing all right at the moment.
Oh, he was until he got thrown shoulder first into that ring post.
Yeah. But how many men can say they have beaten Neville this year? Daivari, count-out victory last week. He has a victory over the Cruiserweight Champion. How many men can say that, Dan? I've said that 2 different ways, honestly.
No men can say that in the 205 Live division.
Because Aries now released, and he's the only one that had the disqualification victory. But exactly, didn't matter in the end. And Daivari using all of his intelligence, trying to get Tozawa counted out. Referee's up to 8. And just like sliding in to home for Tozawa, getting in the ring just in time, but get caught in the pin. Oh,
yeah, after a few stamps to that injured shoulder and kicks out at 2.
2. And Daivari looking impressive now. Like huge clubbing strikes to Tozawa when he was downed. But Tozawa showing his toughness. That's one thing about Tozawa that we know is how tough he is.
Well, he doesn't back out.
He doesn't. We've seen how tough. Does he deserve this spot as the number 1 contender if he does win, Dan?
He does, yes, definitely.
Yeah, I think he's been one of the better stories on 205 Live, hasn't he, you know?
He has, yeah.
When he debuted and we thought, who is this guy? You know, we're not sure, of course, in the CWC. And now the fans getting really behind him. Does he get a good reaction on Monday Night Raw when he wrestles?
He does indeed, yes. The fans love chanting,
There we go. Just like you, it's a joy to watch Tozawa, but Daivari at the moment with the knees up in the bottom turnbuckle there. Tozawa in all sorts of trouble, and look who's watching on.
The king of cruiserweights, the Neville Level.
Neville watching backstage. You know he's going to face one of these guys. at SummerSlam, the biggest party of the summer, and it might be Daivari. Daivari with a boot to the arm, going for the pin, Tozawa kicking out.
Tozawa would be recovered in time if he does beat Daivari.
Well, this is the thing, I don't even know if he's going to get through this match at the moment. Daivari's game plan has been on point in this match. He's focusing on the injured arm, the injured shoulder, Tozawa. I mean, having the bandage and strapping on is a target. He's trying to get the count out earlier, any means necessary. You know, Daivari said he wants to go through. He thinks he can beat Neville. You know, he thinks he is the best cruiserweight on 205 Live. And Tozawa's got to fight that. He's got to show tenacity, even with an injury, to get through. And like I say, even if he does, he's got to fight Neville, a man who's not been pinned in over 8 months now in the WWE. I mean, it's a challenge. I don't know if Tozawa, 100% Tozawa, could do, let alone what we could say now, 50% Tozawa.
I'd say he's a 75%. You know, he's got one of his limbs out of use.
No Titus and Neil either at ringside. You wonder how that's going to go forward as well. If Titus is going to get upset, he doesn't want him in this corner, even though he's trying to get him the rematch. If he wins tonight, he does indeed get the title shot. But Daivari now is going to catch. Oh, Tozawa, and that is beautiful sleeper hold there, using the arm extension as well, getting him down. And Tozawa's a long way from that bottom rope.
Could this be it for Tozawa?
Oh, he's in trouble. And Tozawa trying to hook it through, does get to the pin.
Oh, rolls him up for a 2 count.
2. But holding all the weight back down, Tozawa's got to do all the work and all the energy. This is really impressive by Daivari. I've got to give him that.
Indeed.
And that's the referee who fucked up the Kevin Owens match. Kevin Owens AJ Styles match. But he's still involved in this one tonight. Let's hope he doesn't mess up the ending, because we need to know who becomes the number 1 contender for the Cruiserweight title at SummerSlam. Who faces Neville? Who is on the Neville level? Is it Daivari's Tozawa?
Oh, road breaker to the arm. The bad arm of Tozawa. Rolls him up, but Tozawa managing to kick out.
And that's how difficult it is with the arm being worked on. The normal kick out is using your arms to try and press your shoulders off the mat. Tozawa can't even do that. So it's all about trying not to be caught in that position. And at the moment, Daivari is just in complete control of this match. He knows exactly what he's doing. Doesn't look like, even though Daivari probably gets and 205 Live, he doesn't seem to be flustered by it.
No, he's just sticking to his game plan, working on Tozawa's shoulder.
Now, Daivari, you don't see him going to the top that often.
Trying to take out Tozawa. Went for a frog splash, but missed its target.
And does the look on Tozawa's face tell us anything? Maybe this is his opportunity. Maybe this is his chance to get back into this match. And Tozawa now, he's biting down on the gum shield. He's going to go to work. Oh.
Spinning heel kick. Missed the follow-up, though, with a spinning kick. Catches him in a lovely suplex.
Oh.
Running knee. Could this finish Daivari off? 1, 2.
Oh.
Daivari managing to kick out.
Daivari showing his toughness there, being in control the last 5 minutes. All of a sudden, Tozawa getting the momentum on his side. Daivari managed to get the shoulder up, but Tozawa's going to set him in the corner. Tozawa, one-armed man. All the damage been done to him. Going to try and go to the top. Oh!
Took too long to get up there, obviously only having one arm. Daivari's climbed up to the top now.
Wait, the way Tozawa landed on that shoulder.
Oh, second attempt at a frog splash, hits it. 2. Oh, but Tozawa managing to kick out.
I honestly default Daivari had it, and I think he thinks that as well. I think that he knows that I think that. And that's what cost Tozawa the Cruiserweight title against Neville being hung up on that top rope.
Oh, and you can see as he come down off the top there, his arm got caught up over the top rope, thus injuring it a bit more. Yeah,
and the frog splash, I'm sure he made sure he got the knees right into that shoulder and impact.
Really sure?
As he picks up Tozawa to surely finish it.
Oh, but Tozawa with the back body drop.
Oh!
Running knee sends Daivari to the outside, but he manages to stay on the edge of the apron.
And that's
forearm, and Tozawa's hyped up.
Oh no, it's not suicide time, is it? You've only got one arm.
Takes him out, hits him with luckily the good shoulder.
It's been taken out by a suicide dive, is it? It's Tozawa going to the top rope for the match-winning senton. Will it be?
Boom! Hits it. That's got to be it.
1, 2, 3.
And an Iranian gets hit with a bomb.
Tozawa becomes the number 1 contender. This young Japanese man goes to face the undefeated British And the Iranian, like you say, in defeat, fair play, but at least hands across the nation, is it multinational here? Tozawa versus Neville at SummerSlam. Dan, what did you think of this match?
I thought it was good. You know, a one-armed Tozawa managed to beat a two-armed Davari. Does that take something away from Davari? Tozawa was looking at Neville when he was looking to his left.
Well, Neville now seems to have the kind of realisation on his face.
He'll be on his trunks as well.
Like, he's got to fight Tozawa at SummerSlam. Maybe Neville didn't want that. Will he? Like, the question is, though, will Tozawa be 100% fit come SummerSlam?
I think he's well fit.
As we see replay. No, I thought it was a really good match. I think Davari showed a lot in this match. He carried the vast majority of it, working on the arm. A couple of really nice near falls as well, but I think the right man won, didn't
It's definitely the fans' choice.
Yeah. We are only 2 weeks away from SummerSlam, and we've got one episode of 205 Live left, so we move on to our last episode of 205 Live, the 8th of the 8th, or for people who are not sure, the 8th of August, episode 37.
Well, TJP and Rich Swann have a friendly rivalry going on in 205 Live. This week saw TJP and Rich Swann continue their so-called friendly rivalry in the main event.
Well, let's take a look at everything that happened on this week's episode of 205 Live, and our opening match to two of WWE's best athletes going head-to-head when Tony Nese took on Cedric Alexander. This was a continuation of the feud they started during last week's show, but it's too early to tell if it's a real storyline, if a real storyline will develop between the two, or if this is just a random cruiserweight match.
Well, both competitors are capable of incredible feats of athleticism, but something about this match felt off. It might have been the way it was paced, or it might be the crowd barely responding unless someone was flipping off the top rope.
Well, I think they did look good from a technical standpoint, but there was no sense of urgency until the last couple of minutes, which we're going to watch right now. And Cedric Alexander is backed up in the corner. And Tony Nese, like we say, the premier athlete, someone who I think could do so much on 205 Live. And finally a chance for Cedric Alexander to come out of that Alicia Fox, Noam Dar feud and become his own man. It can only be a good thing, Dan, can't it?
Tony Nese has Cedric Alexander there tied up in a tree of woe and just started laying on his back and doing a backwards bicycle as he was kicking Alexander in the midsection. And now Alexander's fighting back, but both men exchanging big, heavy blows in the ring. Nese, I think, won that exchange, and he's looking to set Alexander up for a suplex. But, Alexander there with an inside little package. Nese didn't like that and come out with a big clothesline after kicking out at one.
Now Nese going to the back of Cedric Alexander that he's been working on for the opening part of this match. Now going to wear him down. Got the legs locked across, trying to stop the breathing of Nese. And like we spoke about, Tony Nese, he looks like a heavyweight, but he fights like a cruiserweight. And I've been impressed with him. And Cedric Alexander, we can't forget the classic match he had against Kota Ibushi in the CWC. We know when Alexander gets given enough time, gets the right opponent, he can have a great match. And it's something we haven't seen enough. And I think these two are a major part of the future of 205 Live, you know.
But I don't think we've seen them hit as much of the heights as they did when they was in the CWC.
And this
for
is
a majority of these athletes.
Yeah, and this is a problem because, you know, tournament affair, maybe it's easier even telling a story than it is trying to do a weekly show, you know, to try and fit everybody in, give them certain storylines. But see what happens here. Like we say, we see if this turns into a big feud or not. As Nese has just been rocked with a Cedric Alexander kick, maybe now a little bit of separation to try and get back into this match.
But one thing, again, you know, that kind of takes away from it is there is only one main prize in the cruiserweight division. And obviously not everyone can go for that main prize, so they've got to do something personal. And there's, you know, only so many personal rivalries you can have involving storylines.
No, I completely agree with you. As Alexander now springboards in with a clothesline to try and get Nick kicks out at two. I think the thing is they should be allowed to compete for other titles. You know, a couple of cruiserweights or a few cruiserweight teams trying to go for the Raw Tag Team title makes sense. You know, if they're good enough, which they are, to compete for the Intercontinental title, which is on Raw. You know, actually have Miz maybe beat a cruiserweight in a competitive match. You know, and it doesn't hurt anybody really, does it? You know, it could give someone the help he has. You know, someone like Jack Gallagher given that opportunity, the fans getting behind you. as Nice goes to slam Alexander down, but again, Alexander kicks out at 2. Now, this is the problem. You've only got an hour a week to showcase, 30 wrestlers in one go and try and keep everybody happy. I mean, that's the reason Austin Aries left in the end, wasn't it? Because he didn't get the win and he thought, well, what's the point of me being stuck here if I'm not actually going to be the champion? Which is a fair point. Everybody here deserves a chance at the champion, but when Neville's so dominating as well, difficult situation to be in. It's just not enough, is it, really? As Nice showing great athleticism there, nipping up, but Alexander catches him with the kick, and, was it handspring elbow, but Alexander got caught by Nice.
Rolls him up, got a handful of tights, but Alexander reverses it, rolls up Nice, and now Nice reverses it, rolls up Alexander, and he had a handful of tights there.
Oh, come on, not like that, but yeah, Nice gets the victory. And is it a big victory for Tony Nese? I mean, is it a little bit of an upset? I think maybe Alexander going into this a little bit more momentum than Nese was last week. What do you think of the match, Dan?
Well, it certainly left it open for a bit of controversy. I mean, Nese won it with a handful of tights.
But Nese does get the win as we move on to 205 Live. And a couple of notes. Couple of notes. WWE's ended 2 SmackDowns in a row now by cutting right away when an attack happens. There is no reason why it shouldn't continue on the WWE Network before 205 Live starts. Nese is continuing to deliver promos about the mic during his entrance. The crowd gives him absolutely no reaction to it because they can't hear what he's saying.
Well, seeing as though Nese isn't even number 1 contender, so that makes him 3rd best at most.
Yeah.
So that means Alexander's going to be 4th best.
Yes, Alexander will always be 2nd best to Tony Nese. Yeah, if we're doing the 205 rankings at the moment, would Alexander be 4th? I don't know if that would be a fair assessment of him when you can count everybody else in there. What about Jack Gallagher? What about Brian Kendrick? And what about Noam Dar?
Well, we see last week's altercation between Jackie Boy and Kendrick. Well, Jack beating 10 bells of shit out of Brian. Anyway, this week Kendrick was being interviewed backstage. He may have won the match, but he's certainly losing the war.
Exactly, and even his comments there saying that's what he wants, an aggressive Jack Gallagher. I don't know how it plays into anything.
Jack Gallagher there comes in with his wrists taped up and he just starts wailing away at the Brian Kendrick.
Fucking hell. Is this what you wanted, Kendrick? Look at him running away.
Well, is this another set of lessons he's teaching Jack how to be more aggressive?
Well, if it is, then finally it's working because we haven't seen this Jack. And he's going to put a beating on Kendrick. I'm sure of it. What we've seen of him there. It's quite exciting. It's different. And I don't mind it.
Well, Noam Dar returned this week and insulted his opponent before the match. He faced a man by the name of Mark Thomas. Who? Well, according to Dar, has been wrestling for several years and never made it in the business. The crowd chanted, "Let's go, Jobber," as he hit the Scottish Supernova with a punch. But Alicia Fox, his ex, easily took control and finished him off with a Nova Roller. This was a squash match in every way, and it did nothing to build Dar back up after his horrendous storyline with Foxy, which ended a few weeks ago.
Yeah, but I think Dar should be turned into a babyface because he was over as a good guy during the Cruiserweight Classic, and his size makes him the underdog, even in the Cruiserweight division. You know what I mean? He's a little guy. And I think we've seen Dar. He can play both parts anyway, well.
Also, chanting Dar's name to Darth Vader's Imperial Death March is always fun.
Da 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 da. Da 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 da. We owe Lucasfilm $500,000 for that. Up next, we had an interview with Akira Tozawa. Ha! Ha! Ah! Well, Akira Tozawa was supposed to be interviewed by Corey Graves about his upcoming Cruiserweight Championship match, but it was quickly interrupted by Neville. The champ tried to hit one solid kick to the head to take him down. The king of the Cruiserweights tried to get back in the ring for more, but the amazing Tozawa sent him packing with another kick. This was a short segment, but it did what it was set out to do. Tozawa looked strong, making him a threat to the man who has dominated the division since his arrival.
Neville has disrespected everyone since he turned heel except Graves. It's a nice nod to their time as a tag team partners in NXT.
Ah, I didn't notice that. That's good.
And Graves got a nice pop when he started the segment. He couldn't help but smile at the love he was getting from the crowd.
Well, interesting enough, though, this is the second week in a row Titus O'Neil didn't accompany his client. I mean, what kind of representative is he?
Well, you know, where Tozawa is supposed to be a face, having someone out in your corner, you know, it's normally there to help you during a match. And Tozawa doesn't need help. So why does he need him out there helping him?
Yeah, I mean, as long as he's helping build the Tozawa brand, you know, trying to make Akira a bigger star. I mean, we'll see what happens.
Well, he's doing more for Tozawa than he is for Cruz.
He is. Are you looking forward to a Neville Tozawa? And are you looking forward to a Neville Tozawa match at SummerSlam?
I am, yes.
Yes, fucking hell. You're really positive about SummerSlam at the moment, aren't you?
Yes.
Well, we'll talk about more.
It might change next week.
Yeah.
After Raw and SmackDown.
We'll talk about it live when we do the build-up for SummerSlam. We move on to our main event. And like we said, the friendly rivalry is building between these two. TJP versus Rich Swann. This looks to be a great match. We'll see how it goes in a moment. They've just been exchanging, as we friends would do with Ringman. And I love this kind of stuff between the two.
It kind of reminds me of when Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy used to go against each other, like, you know, in Royal Rumbles, or if, you know, the moment arose and they had no choice but to go against each other, which normally would be in a Royal Rumble.
Yeah, but and this is the thing you talk about with these two guys. They've been battling on the independents for years, so coming here together, you know, you build that kind of chemistry that you have. And as we see, they've been friends, you know, on and off screen as well. It's going to be an interesting matchup. You know, you would expect TJP maybe to have the advantage in this just because... I mean, why? Why has he got the advantage in this? I was going to say, because he's been Cruiserweight champion, but so has Rich Swann. He's the man that beat him for the title.
Former Cruiserweight champions, yeah.
But why would TJP have the advantage in this one over Swann? I mean, who would you go for in this one?
Because I went for him during the... in which he won.
Yeah.
So, you know, he's not let me down.
No. And what did he bring to the table? Anybody who's not seen TJP, if this is the first time someone's listening to our podcast, Dan, I mean, what does TJP represent for you?
I think his brilliant athleticism. You know, he's not just a high-flying artist. He can do things, you know, on a ground level as well. He's brilliant with his feet and arms. You know, he's just an all-round athlete, not just your stereotypical cruiserweight.
Yeah, exactly. You know, if you do the high-fly moves, but he's such a great technical wrestler. We saw that in abundance in the CWC. Not as much since then, but like Perkins has had that kind of thing, like I was going to say the Big Show, Mark Henry, where you don't know if he is a face or a heel each week. You know, you can come out and act one way, and then the next week come out, act another way. You'll be like, oh, okay, right. He needs to kind of sort that character out. Do you think this feud's going to help him do that in the end?
Well, I think he works better as a babyface. Handsome little devil.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think good-looking blokes always work better as a babyface. Yeah.
Would you like to see Rich Swann maybe go to the dark side a little bit in this one?
Racist.
in this kind of feud, because we haven't gone. We haven't seen this side of Rich Swann, have we? And maybe getting annoyed that TJP has got his number, sends him to do something maybe we didn't think he could do, you know, and that's the interesting the dynamic here, isn't it? Everybody expects TJP to maybe take the shortcut, but you never know.
Well, you know, I want to see Swann turn it up to that level he turned it up to when he beat TJP for the Cruiserweight Championship.
Yeah, no, exactly right. And we've seen glimpses of it already in this match with Rich Swann diving to the outside and taking Perkins out. Comes back in, and we talk about the wrestling side of it. TJP always seems to have a reversal for Rich Swann. TJP back to his feet now. But with so many ways he could put him away. But Rich Swann, he shows the heart and the toughness, determination of a champion.
Well, Swann is a tough. I've heard they can break your arm.
They can, and he will in this one. If that's what it takes, he'll break his best friend's arm in this match. But at the moment, TJP doesn't have to worry about it because he's got Rich Swann down.
Oh, a helo over the top. A bit of a shout out to the late great Eddie Guerrero there.
There are certain sides to certain moves he does that. You know, obviously TJP as a young guy got influenced by these wrestlers, you know, and Guerrero, it's at him, isn't it, the kind of moves that he does. Not that I'm saying, obviously, he is like Eddie Guerrero, but you know what I mean? You're obviously going to have that. TJP has the advantage over Rich Swann. There's no doubt about it. But who's faster between these two?
Oh, I think they're quite close.
Yeah, I think I maybe tip my hat towards Rich Swann in that department, just because Otherwise, Perkins wins and a lot of others. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then,
Well, I think Swann's more of a risk taker than TJP.
well, he needs to take a risk in this one to get back in it as he's trying to even get off his back. The arm lock there.
That's how he gets out of that by doing a standing backflip. Runs into the corner, but Perkins tries following up. He gets hit with a back elbow, goes up to the second rope for a splash, but Swann, lovely there, moving out the way.
Both men avoiding each other's aerial offence. We're back to square one. So equal as we've seen in this match. Every Elliot have an answer for each move.
But do you think these two are the next in line for a potential another championship run each?
I think they are. I mean, we talked about rankings earlier with Alexander and Nice. I think TJP and Swann are ahead of them in that, you know, and I think they do deserve a chance.
But doesn't that depend on who wins? Because, you know, these two both for the time. If Tozawa wins, he's also a face himself.
Yeah, if Tozawa wins, he needs Nice to jump straight back up there, unless he gives, like, if Dar has a fucking fight versus him. You know, they've put themselves in a situation.
I'm sure if Tozawa does win, Neville's going to have a fair few rematches.
But it's like NXT, isn't it? They're kind of built a certain way, but they could always turn it round so you think, oh shit, maybe they're just fooling us, you know? As Rich Swann there, absolutely beautiful, catching Perkins off the top rope. Hurricane Runner, show the replay, guys in the back. It was a lovely move, and now Rich Swann trying to pick Perkins up, put him away. Pick Perkins up, put him away. Maybe Tiger suplex, but look at TJP's strength.
Picks him up, but Swann with a backslide. TJP rolls through and manages to pick the leg, trying to get that TJP clutch locked in, or the TJP leg bar.
Oh, has he got him? No, Swann managing to just roll it away. Oh!
Nearly knocks Perkins' head off there with a lovely spinning heel kick.
Well, he calls that the rich kicker now. Look at Swann. Oh!
Handspring backflip there. Splashes on top of Perkins. Only gets a 2 count though.
2. Rich Swann, can he believe it? But Perkins managed to get the shoulder up. Come on now, boys. Let's turn this into a classic, you know what I mean? Really start going into it.
Swann there getting Perkins lined up. Going to go up top. Taking his sweet ass time about it, though.
Here we go. Rich Swann. The Swan's about to fly. Oh!
Corkscrew 450, I think. And Perkins managed to roll out the way. Swann hit nothing but mat.
Oh! Trying to get him down with a... Oh my God, I was about to say, Perkins trying to get Swann down. Swann catching him with a pin. Managing to kick out.
Detonation kick. No, Swann with the backslide.
Each man scouted the other one, and Swann managing to stick his boot up. And now he's on Perkins' shoulders.
Oh, electric chair, and Swann, the back of his head hit the top turnbuckle there. That looked quite deadly.
Now Swann's up.
Detonation kick. This could be it for Perkins. 1, 2, 3.
Oh.
TJP with a victory.
You got enough energy to celebrate as well. Well, TJP gets the job done. What do you think of the match, Dan?
I thought it was brilliant for a friendly.
Yeah.
Could this lead to something more serious between these two guys?
Well, it'll be interesting to see the reaction of Rich Swann in defeat now, isn't he? Because TJP has been saying that he's well, it'd be interesting. But, I mean, the impact to the back of the head, or not only on the turnbuckle, but the detonation kick as well.
And he's not dabbing as much as he just done a dab there, but, that's... Yeah.
He's entitled to maybe dab, and now...
Is Swann gloating in front of Rich Swann? Is TJP gloating in front of Rich Swann's face now?
He is.
You don't want to do that. You don't want to poke a hornet's nest.
What a tremendous match that was, wasn't it?
That was bloody marvellous.
Well, the crowd woke up again for this match. We talk about notes about it. People were cheering and chanting almost the entire time, which is what we need to see more of on 205 Live.
Jumping from the mat to deliver a Hurricane Runner to someone sitting on the top turnbuckle is easily Swann's most exciting move in his back.
Like you say, that shot Swann took to the back of the head, looked painful, and hits the area. Always look more dangerous because you don't see them coming. As we see the end there of Rich Swann. But a great match. Fair play to him. What have you thought of 205 Live?
I thought it's been quite entertaining this week. From the first match to Tony Nese going against Cedric Alexander, the way that finished quite conscious, it opened a bit for them. It wasn't a bad contest between the two. You know, seeing Akira Tozawa there with his vicious side. Even seeing Jack Gallagher with his vicious side as well, you know, going against their respective opponents.
So very interesting there. See Rich Swann walking to the back. TJP comes up to him. What's he say, Dan?
He says, look, you know, I was doing this just because, you know, the moment, and I thought you was better than this. I thought you could handle this. And he said, and Swann's reply to that was,
well, he says, I'm getting to know the real TJP now. Network programs, stuff that we've had, July 17th. Table for Free, with the Nation reunited as the Godfather. We talked about that on WWE versus WCW, Dan, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
We had July 24th, it was Table Free. It was Talking Shop, and who was on it, Dan?
Lita, Renee Young, and Corey Graves, and they dish on everything from career triumphs to their love of Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah, and then we had Kurt Angle exclusive interview, which, well, on Raw, because I am the Raw guy, we had the storyline. We've not actually spoken about it yet, Dan, I don't think. We had announced as Kurt Angle's illegitimate son. I mean, what was your thoughts on it?
I think it's quite ridiculous, to be honest. You know.
Why, were you hoping it was going to be Mojo?
Either Mojo or Enzo.
I first off, I love American Alpha. I was a huge fan of them. I'm so shocked that they split that team up. That team, for me, were money. Do you know what I mean? I just thought they were going to have such a bright future. Part of the reason they wondered if they were going to have, you know, if it was going to be Chad Gable or Jason Jordan. They said the reason why it was Jason Jordan because Kurt Angle had a little bit of a penchant for the black persuasion, shall we say.
Is it worth splitting up a tag team that was great?
No, I don't think it is, but they might have it for a long haul. I can't believe they brought Kurt Angle back and they're doing this to him. Like, do you know what I mean? It's payback, I think, a little bit for past misdemeanors. It looks like they're going forward with Jordan versus The Miz at SummerSlam for the IC title, whether they had Jordan win it there or not. But obviously they've got plans for him, haven't they? And with Angle in his corner, I think it can only be a good thing for the time being. It's weird, though. It is.
Did you see the Miz TV segment?
I did not.
Where Jason Jordan suplexed Miz into the Miztourage.
So there we go. So if he could be a mini Angle, but then again, you know, I bet Jack Swagger's kicking himself saying, I wish Angle was about 5 years ago. You know, that would have worked.
Well, saying that on last week's SmackDown, Chad Gable was using the Angle lock.
Oh, was he?
Against Rusev.
Oh, I don't know if we spoke about it, but there was a smacking talk they had. Daniel Bryan, Renee Young had Chad Gable on it, and they asked him, and they had a paternity test. They found out Chad Gable's dad was actually Daniel Bryan. So they did that on there. So who knows what else could happen, you know? It's a strange, interesting thing.
Yes.
We move on anyway, and the W Network celebrated Triple H's birthday. He turned 48 on the 27th of July.
King of Kings with Triple H, Thy Kingdom Come, will then be followed by 3 events. Triple H's first WCW pay-per-view match, his first Intercontinental title win, and a 2016 Royal Rumble where he captured the WWE Championship.
So, just in case we didn't have enough Triple H, they're doing a little bit more, you know, so another collection. We then had WWE Bring It to the Table, which was after Monday Night Raw. You mentioned something about JBL and
Corey Graves confirmed rumours about Enzo Amore being hated by the WWE locker room. So I don't know what he's done to the locker room.
JBL, Corey Graves, Peter Rosenberg touched on the Brock Lesnar versus John Jones situation, which we're going to get into a lot of detail about in a little bit. And between Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss, WWE's Network Bring It to the Table probably delivered its strongest episode on July 31st.
And that's because the 3 hosts have developed an entertaining camaraderie with each other. They butt heads and disagree as an opinion show like this requires, but they also appear to be having fun and enjoying themselves. It's a big step up from earlier episodes where JBL and first Paul Heyman, then his replacement Graves, mocked and ridiculed Rosenberg as a fan surrogate.
Well, their best example of this came during a topic entitled By the Book, where Rosenberg asked the Raw and SmackDown Common Truth to persistent rumours of a list of banned phrases talent aren't supposed to use on WWE programming. Both Graves and Layfield denied there were anything more than strongly worded suggestions. They used preferred terms, so Rosenberg tried another tact, asking if there's ever an agenda to use a certain word.
Like calling the Punjabi prison a structure. JBL denied it, but then Rosenberg called for production to roll this tape. Having proving the Battleground announce team used the word 64 times during the July 23rd main event.
Well, clearly busted. Layfield's response to Roseberg's laughter was, "You're an arsehole." Is that banned? That's good stuff. That's the 6th episode of Bring It to the Table. We've had a couple of collections out of this month. Dan, do you want to tell us the first one?
Well, WWE have had nearly 200 episodes of footage on the network, including ECW, WCCW and WWE Old. They're now available on demand on WWE Network. You can watch the final year of WWE's ECW franchise, various classic episodes of the World Class Championship Wrestling spanning from 1981 to 1985, and unforgettable WWE old school shows from the Philadelphia Spectrum, Los Angeles Sports Arena and the Boston Garden.
Yeah, so not bad. I mean, they're just filling it out. I mean, WWE has so much content in the vaults to add to the network. We talked about the ECW shows last month, see if they're going to add any more. Now we've got the whole collection. That's good.
Yeah, well, I think there's just so much they've got to go through to kind of vet it a bit and do what they can to try and make it a bit more family friendly.
Yeah. Next collection, Kurt Angle, It's True. Back home from the Olympic Heroes WWE debut to his Hall of Fame induction earlier this year. Don't miss the very best of Angle in all this new WWE collection. The reason I'm laughing, because it basically covers everything we did from the WNR Kurt Angle special, episode 98. It's got his last match against Randy Orton in there. It's got his match against Chris Jericho from No Way Out that we covered. Also, all the points that we done. So, little tap on our back. We were a couple of months ahead of the WWE there. And finally, Dan?
It's something that I've been delving into quite a bit recently, and it's a journey deep into the archives for these rarely seen moments and matches, from a couple of then unknown performing on national televisions to an unaired classic between Seth Rollins and Cesaro. You don't want to miss these hidden gems, and the latest one, The Destroyer and a Fallen Angel, which is Samoa Joe going against Christopher Daniels from the year 2001.
Yeah, I mean, and the reason, 14th of March, so this was basically a week here or there between WrestleMania 17. You consider that major event. And now you consider what happened since then with Joe and Christopher Daniels. Anybody who doesn't know Christopher Daniels, he's a guy that should have been in the WWE years ago, because he was such a great talent. Just never worked out. He's formed a great tag team with Frankie Kazarian now in Ring of Honor, and it was in part of TNA. Fantastic. And of course, part of the triple threat match, AJ Styles and Samoa Joe, that was at TNA. And it's just fantastic work. What do you think of Christopher Daniels?
Yeah, he's a great worker. I've not seen too much of Daniels. I've definitely seen that famous X Division match that Joe, Styles and Daniels had, but he seems like a good talent to have around the WWE.
Yeah, and he's an integral part of Ring of Honor, former Ring of Honor champion. But it's interesting that he would be involved on the WWE Network because of this. Do you know what I mean? He's had a few dark matches, Velocity and stuff like this, but never had an extended run. It's more interesting about Samoa Joe, because the Joe in the ring now is night and day to what the Joe we are accustomed to. As you can see just by his look, can't you, I mean, he's wearing...
bleach blonde hair.
Yeah, bleach blonde. What is he wearing, Dan?
He's wearing some tracksuit bottoms and a vest top with his bleach blonde hair, and, he just... the Samoa Joe that we know and love.
Yeah, I mean, Joe wouldn't have the character of this until he went to Ring of Honor, and they created this kind of killer Joe, which he would then become renowned for. I mean, these are obviously just the highlights of the show, because you've seen how easy and over it's done. But I tell you what, even it's 2001, it looks like we're watching a 70s match, doesn't it,
Oh, it looks ancient.
It looks awful. Oh!
But Christopher Daniels there got a pin on Samoa Joe. A wrestler came in from the back, counted the 3. The referee said, well, it wasn't me. Samoa Joe, with a step-up enziguri, slams Daniels down to the mat, and the referee finally counts the 3, giving the victory to Samoa Joe. And then the bloke that counted Samoa Joe down for the 3 beforehand come in and just raise Joe's hand.
Well, sure that is. I don't know if that's Sean Stasiak. But now we see another camera angle.
Terrible, grainy footage. I mean...
This is just
This is awful for 2001. I've seen stuff from the 70s that looks better than
That's
this.
what I say to you. Yeah, I mean, it looked in black and white for some strange reason. But Crystal Daniels there. I mean, do you think WWE, we talk about better than this, do you think WWE will make a play to try and get Ring of Honor's TV library because you consider all the talent in WWE now that they could have? Do you think that would be worthwhile?
Yeah, potentially, but I think that'd probably mean buying out Ring of Honor as well, wouldn't it? Or, you know, even putting them in part of the deal so they get a bit of commission from the network sales. I think the network sales are worth too much to WWE for them to want to share any bit of them with Ring of Honor.
I mean, Ring of Honor, right? I mean, there were talk, weren't there, about trying to buy Impact Library to have these matches, and it'd be interesting to see if WWE does, you know what I mean, not itchy feet, but just decides, oh, fuck it, we'll take out the wrestling scene yet again. You know, we'll just buy the two companies, fuck them off, and then, you know, we'll have another couple of friendships.
But then, you know, in the years after WWE bought out ECW and WCW, don't you think they got a bit sloppy?
Yes, they did, yeah.
And then it didn't pick up again until, like, you know, NJPW was big, TNA was a bit bigger, and, you know, they had a bit of competition.
Yeah. Well, as you say, WWE thrives on competition. Look at this snazzy motherfucker.
Is that an Intercontinental Championship?
I think it is. Wow, the Destroyer Samoa Joe and UPW. Dan, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, he's certainly come a long way in fashion sense and wrestling sense.
There are better matches on there, trust us. Go through the collection, see them all. And that's what's good about the network, bringing them to light, maybe stuff that you didn't even know was on the WWE Network. Next programme that we had, new programme, Table for Free. This was an interesting one, Dan.
Yes, DDP, Scott Hall and Sean Waltman, they gathered together over dinner to recount tales of WCW versus the NWO in a special Monday Night War reunion on this edition.
Yeah, and we will cover this on our next episode of the WWE versus WCW Monday Night Wars in September. So, news from the week, and we're going to get into it. What a time it is to be alive if you're a fan of both the UFC and the WWE. There simply have never been so much crossover talk between the two companies than there is right now. First and foremost, there's the obvious buzz in the wake of UFC 214 surrounding a potential super fight between UFC light heavyweight champion John Jones and former heavyweight champ Brock Lesnar, the current Universal Champion. There's also the fact that former UFC women's bantamweight champion Ronda Rousey recently attended... Oh, fuck me. That's spoilers. Recently attended WWE's first women's tournament, Mae Young Classic. That's my pick! Yeah. Anyway, perhaps flying a bit under the radar, loads of social media feud between newly crowned UFC Women's Featherweight Champion Christine Justino and WWE star Becky Lynch. It started weeks ago and continued on with both women teasing a match or an encounter of some sort at WWE Summerslam pay-per-view. Here is a sampling.
They made a deal to face each other hours before UFC 214. Let's make a deal. If I win tonight in Cali and you win tonight in Detroit, you agree to sign a SummerSlam contract. Don't be scared.
Well, that's what she said. What did Becky Lynch say back?
I'm scared of
No,
nothing.
she didn't. What did she say back? Go on, Becky Lynch.
What, Lynch made a video?
No, Becky, no, I want you to...
I'm scared of nothing.
Yeah, I had that in my head. Yeah, Lynch. I'm just going to get you a quote what Lynch said. Lynch made a video calling out Cyborg. She walked out to the octagon at UFC 214. Cyborg asked WWE star executive Triple H to make a match happen after a victory. She said, I won my UFC 214 fight. Now I want Becky Lynch. Cyborg followed up with some more trash talk. She says, I hear Becky Lynch thinks she can armbar me. You can tell someone to tell the WWE what happened to the last girl fans thought they could armbar me. Don't be scared, homie. Oh, fuck that. I'm not going to say that.
Eu quero representar o Brasilia.
Yeah. Cyber come out of a UFC 2-on-4 win over Tonya Evinger pretty much unscathed, which seemingly leaves the door open for a quick turnaround to perform at SummerSlam in under 3 weeks. Things get more interesting for these two until then. And we're going to have a couple more updates, I think, as it went on. Up next, Brock returning to the UFC. The UFC 2-on-4, the third round stoppage, Daniel Cormier on Saturday. Jones said, we should mention first the fights. I do watch a lot of UFC. And John Jones is probably one of the greatest fighters that ever lived. And Cormier is so good. What's really good about Cormier, he takes the wrestling... not the wrestling seriously, but he knows the storyline and the play about
John Jones turn into the Martian?
John Jones has only got one defeat against him, and that's because he used illegal elbows, apparently, even though he won the match and was disqualified. So he's not had a defeat. Cormier only lost to John Jones, and he's not lost to anybody else. Story about it. And Cormier was doing so good up until the third round, then this huge fucking kick just knocked Cormier silly. And Cormier, never been stopped, was taken out by John Jones. Like he said, John Jones got on the mic and said, Brock Lesnar, if you want to know what it's like to get your ass kicked by a guy who weighs 40 pounds less, meet me in the Octagon. And what did Lesnar say to that, Dan?
Well, it wasn't Lesnar, it was Paul Heyman. And he said, well, my client, Brock Lesnar, says, be careful what you wish for, young man.
Well, Lesnar is 40 and he remains one of the biggest draws in MMA, and a bout with Jones, who's 30, will get UFC fans excited.
Does that get you excited, James?
Honestly, that is, for me, one of the biggest fights that could happen. John Jones versus Lesnar. I've never seen anything like it. Yeah, Lesnar was such a beast in UFC, such a huge man. John Jones is fantastic, and I wouldn't know which way. If Lesnar get hold of Jones, it might be different, but John Jones, his striking's incredible, and it would just be, I'll be more excited to watch that fight than I will be watching Mayweather versus McGregor. I will say that.
Well, Mayweather-McGregor is a bit of a one-sided fight, but we won't get into that now. We'll probably do a little podcast special on the Mayweather-McGregor bit, but that's a little way off.
Yeah, Jones added anyway. He said, we're serious about it and it would be great for MMA world. It would bring more of the general public to mixed martial arts, and it's what we need. Would you want to go see a Brock Lesnar versus John... Would you watch a Brock Lesnar versus John Jones fight, Dan?
Oh, most definitely, yeah.
So, after all this talk about Dana White saying he's never spoken to him, he said eventually at the post-fight press conference, he said he's reminded us all that it isn't happening anytime soon. He said, I guess Lesnar just talked to the AP and said, be careful what you wish for, young man. Listen, Lesnar, it would take 6 months for him to get him through the US ADA to fight. It's fun to talk about the reality of it happening anytime soon. It's not a reality. But that doesn't mean it's not happening at all.
Tick tock.
Well, there was talk about it happening in December. Like I say, if Lesnar needs 2 months... If he does lose the title at SummerSlam, that would give him enough time to fight. Would he be allowed to? Would it mean if he lost badly, would he be able to cover for WrestleMania? Would he sign a contract extension with WWE and then do it happening in June? I mean, what would you want to see, Dan?
I'd like to see him carry on his, his obligations in WrestleMania, and then so he can just solely concentrate on UFC. You know, I wouldn't, with other distractions, I know, like, WWE shouldn't be too much of a distraction. It's not as if he's there full time anyway. But, you know, I'd like to see it, go out of the wayside and just so he can concentrate on his UFC fight. Yeah. So after WrestleMania. But then, around January time, he could go into the drug testing pool, stay clean for 6 months, and then do it that way.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens, but we're hopefully seeing the fight because, like you said, for some reason, for me, especially in recent times, Lesnar is just far better in the UFC than he is in the WWE, and I don't know why it is, because maybe it is not wrestling, do you know what I mean? It's not competitive between two men, but that's a whole different subject. Also, The Rock appeared at UFC 214.
Great one, who has noted his past desires to become an MMA fighter before, is a big fan of the UFC, and was seen to be taking pictures with new champions Chris Cyborg and John Jones.
We're going to move on from that, and we're going to talk about the Joe, Dan.
After Brock Lesnar outlasted Samoa Joe on Saturday to retain the Universal Championship, the Joe Louis Arena in Detroit closed for good. The famed arena is more well known for hosting the Detroit Red Wings hockey games, but it housed its fair share of WWE action over the years. Per the Internet Wrestling Database, the Joe welcomed 14 editions of Raw, 13 episodes of SmackDown, and 7 pay-per-views. It was the site of the Survivor Series 1991, where Undertaker dethroned Hulk Hogan as world champ. It hosted Randy Orton's 2009 Royal Rumble win, and Angle made his WWE debut there at Survivor Series 1999. Detroit fans will now have to go to the Little Caesars Arena to catch WWE stars, including when the city hosts Hell in a Cell later this year. The building's name doesn't quite have the ring to it as the Joe.
No, that's a bit of a shame, isn't it? I mean, I always enjoyed... I mean, arenas don't have that... I don't... You know, you say arenas don't have that much effect. I think they do, you know. I think like Chicago, Rosemont Horizon, or London, the O2, certain atmospheres at stadiums. I think this was one of them as well. But John, the show, he cut a promo. AJ Styles said a few words, but no one was better than Kevin Owens. He said, it's hard to say goodbye... except if you're Kevin Owens. Farewell, Detroit farewell to the Joe. Next up, we were talking about earlier, Mayweather.
Mayweather wants UK viewers to be charged £100 to watch his fight with Conor McGregor. Which, if that was to happen, I can guarantee you 99% of the people watching it will stream it illegally.
Exactly, and then this is the problem as well. I've had this conversation. It is fucking ridiculous to charge that amount of money, you know. Sky, who are broadcasting a Las Vegas scrap live on these shores, plan to offer it for $19.95, which is in line with how much boxing fans usually pay to watch the biggest fights. But that in some way short of how much Mayweather's hoping the public will be forced to fork out.
Hearn is still confident Sky will not cave into Mayweather's demands though, and will set their price at their usual price. US viewers will have to pay $99 to televise the fight, which is on August the 26th, the same as they were charged when Mayweather took on Pacquiao in 2015.
I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, I know like WrestleMania HD was like $75 or something like this, but I mean, $100 for boxing is mental. Ticket sales for the fight have got off to a slow start after prices started from £2,665. Who would have imagined that? Even on Ticketmaster, you know, you get a little code you put in if you want to be a part of the line. Charging £200 on eBay to get that little code just to apply for tickets, not getting a ticket, guaranteed. It was fucking gaga.
Well, it's stupid how companies make money off other companies making money.
Yeah, it is. It's mental. So we move on from the boxing and we're going to go to Dan's GWF corner, I think it's called. You've been watching a lot of it recently, haven't you?
I have, only because it's on Friday nights at 9 o'clock on Spike TV, which is a free channel for Freeview Box, you know, for Freeview in England. So, you know, it features a few of the older faces, you know, even Grado, who we've seen live. And, you know, it's entertaining to say the least.
Yes, you know, I'll give it that. Yeah, it's wrestling, isn't it? You got to love all wrestling, you know. You can't just...
I'm not a fan of the six-sided ring, but...
I liked the six-sided ring. I mean, I used to watch TNA back... I don't say
when
back
it was
when it was
TNA.
good. Yeah, back when you had, you know, the legendary
Joe Styles,
Daniels.
Sanjay Dutt.
Yeah, that triple threat was... Yeah, I thought it was
that
brilliant
is
wrestling.
The first match I ever saw of TNA, the X Division match, when AJ Styles got turned inside out, hanging from the...
Yeah, exactly, for hanging from the raft.
Innovative.
They were, Dan, and then this is the thing, and WWE NXT have basically taken all of that good stuff and then put it into their show, which not a bad thing, but I was like, you've been watching the events. I mean, we've been talking about it as well, you know, Paige. So in the latest item for a busy news cycle for Global Force Wrestling, champion Alberto El Patron will be stepping down as president of the mixed martial arts promotion of Combat Americas. El Patron and his fiancée Paige are at the centre of an investigation into an incident which occurred on Sunday, July 9th at Orlando International Airport, one for which WWE superstar Paige may be charged with domestic violence battery.
While GFW has suspended him, they haven't made any other decisions about his future with the company. A British independent pro wrestling promotion owned by Paige's father stripped him of their belt earlier this week. Now, the CEO of the Hispanic MMA company and friend of El Patron, Campbell McLaren, has told MMA Uno Alberto is stepping back his official roles from combat. Officially, McLaren says this is to focus exclusively on pro wrestling over the next year or two, while he's still at an age and in shape to excel in that business. El Patron will continue to be a presence at combat events as a fan and guest of the CEO per this interview.
Yeah, but it's impossible not to speculate about connections between this announcement and Alberto and Paige's chaotic and headline-grabbing personal life. Follow, surely.
Don't call me Shirley.
Well,
there
was.
There is more.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, Laura, both Paige and Alberto have released a police case report stemming from the airport altercation between the couple earlier this month, with a message clarifying the situation. The police case reports in the original tweet will be shown down below, but the report showed that the weapon was hand/fist/feet by Paige, and El Patron is listed as a victim in this situation, as Paige explained herself on Twitter. The lawyer, Keith McMahon, would say...
No relative to Vince.
No, but what a choice. What a choices, you know? The irony in it is Mr. McMahon. She's like, oh no, and he goes, hi, I'm Keith. He would say the following, Dan.
This last month was marked false reports by untrained reporters not doing their due diligence. Now, the official report stating what actually happened, I would like to thank everyone that supported my clients and never read into false reports posted on the internet by reporters trying to earn a quick buck by defaming and hurting my clients and their families, including Alberto's 3 innocent children. As you can see, there was no alcohol or drugs and no arrests. No physical harm to one another. Just an argument between a couple that others exploited. Thank you to everyone who believed in them. God bless you all. Now that, God bless you all, right to the heart.
That puts a point on it, doesn't it? And the following tweet would then include the police case report and the original message shown above. While the situation seems to be now resolved, I mean, if we get any new information on it, we'll let you know, of course. We try to speak to Dutch Mantel whether the indefinite suspension had been lifted, to which Mantel would explain he's still suspended and will remain such until the internal investigation is complete.
Dutch Mantel, he looks a lot like that Seb Coulter.
He does, doesn't he? Yeah, I know. It's weird. Must be his twin. Finishing up on Paige now.
Hey, a few wrestlers have.
Yeah, I know. After fielding questions about her relationship with Alberto El Patron and the highly publicised altercation the two were in at Orlando Airport, the folks at Busted Open Radio on Sirius XM got around to asking about her status within pro wrestling. To that end, she was excited to give an update on her recovery from neck surgery.
I just had my CT scan today, and I'll do my last checkup on Monday with my good friend and Dr. Reeb in Arizona. Hopefully I'll be back sooner rather than later, but I don't know at this point. I don't know where it's at, but I can't wait to get back to work. It's been since October 19th that I had my surgery, so it's been a while. So I'm like, just get me back, I want to be wrestling again. It feels so weird not to be wrestling for so long. I got to travel a little bit with Alberto, but it's not the same when you're not in the ring yourself. I'm excited to get back to WWE.
Well, it's unclear where WWE stands with Paige and all the recent developments, as the company never weighed in on it publicly. But Paige has been an integral part of the women's division for a number of years. It's been doing just fine without her, with a number of talented wrestlers coming up. And she noticed and can't wait to get back in and mix it up with them.
I'm excited to see the girls again. All the female athletes that have been texting me. I'm just really, really happy, and I'm excited to see people. I'm excited to see the fans again. I'm excited to see Alexa Bliss. I hope to see Nikki Bella back soon. All the new girls, Nia Jax, Carmella. Just to see all the new girls. Bayley, I'm so happy she's doing well. The same girls, Becky, Sasha, Charlotte, Natty, everyone. I'm just so excited to see them all. Naomi, I'm so happy she's champ right now, and I'm really excited for her.
Do you think she's happy and excited about it, Dan?
I think she's just a little bit happy and a little bit excited. Here's to hoping the future Paige stories are in the ring and not about her personal relationship.
Well, I hope not. That's most of our material every month. So move on. We'll talk about rumours. Rumour has it.
Rumour has it.
Well, you have to put them somewhere, Dan. Stables have been a thing in wrestling for many years now, and there's no reason they still can't be around today. NXT isn't one to use them very often, though. It would make sense to put them together when there is so much talent going around. Turns out the WWE might be thinking of the same thing, because in NXT they're considering to put a lot of these recent Ring of Honor talents together in a stable. While not mentioned, possible names could include Bobby Fish. Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly, both of them made their debuts within the last month.
As previously noted, CageMat.net's wrestling database revealed that Kurt Hawkins has now lost 100 matches in a row. Hawkins' last victory was in a match against Apollo Crews on the November 8th episode of SmackDown Live. Finn Balor took to his Twitter account to congratulate him on this milestone. Congratulations for losing 100 matches in a row, and the picture featured Balor smiling with Hawkins in the background.
I'll tell you something, even though he's lost 100 matches, I mean, fair play to still be employed with the WWE, isn't it, you know?
Well, you know, again, it's... I think he's just trying to do the reverse Undertaker WrestleMania thing and, you know, try and keep this streak going. And for someone to lose to him, does that take something away from him?
I think it would, you know. This kind of losing streak could be legendary, you know. This generation's Barry Horowitz, you know, on this kind of undefeated, on this defeated streak for however long he is in the WWE. Injury news now. And according to correspondents in attendance for the WWE Live event in Cocoa, Florida, Buddy Murphy appeared to have suffered some sort of ankle or leg injury as he went down during his tag team main event with Cassius Ohno versus Hideo Itami and the Velveteen Dream. Following the injury, a WWE trainer came down to assist Murphy, but he appeared to insist on staying in the match. Referee Jake Wirtz then came down to ringside and appeared to convince Murphy to leave the match to get the injury attended to. And of course, the match by himself. But I'm a big fan of Buddy Murphy. He's my one of my three guys in NXT, and it's a shame, but hopefully he can maybe be repackaged and then come back unless he's released, because you know, we don't want that to happen. But anyway, more injury news, Dan.
Yes, WWE announced Bayley suffered a right shoulder injury during a match against Nia Jax during Monday night's Raw episode. We've determined the injury is shoulder related, and she will be going under further diagnostic testing later this week to determine the extent of the injury, and also to establish a timetable for recovery, Dr. Chris Amann said in a statement. The injury occurred when Jax threw her out of the ring during the match, and Bayley barely used her arm for the rest of the contest.
Yeah, even though she did use it post-match altercation with Alexa Bliss, she said everything just tensed up around it. I've never had an injury like this before, so I can't really know what it is. I guess we're going to see. Well, Dan, is it real? Is it still...
Well, we have seen, and Bayley will be unable to challenge Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's Championship at SummerSlam on October the 20th in New York City. So basically what's happened since then is Nia Jax won a triple threat match and Sasha Banks won a triple threat match, and they will both be facing next week on Raw to determine who's going to be the new number one contender for Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, so like we asked, is it real storyline work, shoot, or kayfabe? Lots of the week preceding this news to talk about. Finn Balor said, thinking of my friend. Bayley, no way, Jose says, sorry to hear about your injury. Hoping for the best. Get well soon. Dan, a couple of...
Renee Young.
Peyton Royce at the top.
Oh, Peyton Royce said, get better soon, sister. Thinking of you.
No, she didn't. What did she say?
She said, get better soon, sister. Thinking of you. I think sending heaps of hugs to Bayley is so heal her... No. I think sending heaps of hugs to Bayley will heal her shoulder faster than if we didn't send hugs. So how's there? No hug emoji. Let's use this emoji. Get better soon, it's Bayley. Renee Young.
Yep, go on.
My heart goes out to you, Bayley. You are stronger and will overcome this and be stronger than ever. The WWE Universe and you. Stay positive. From Charlotte Flair.
Charlotte Flair as well, I'd say.
Oh, Charlotte Flair said.
Yeah, Bayley said, at least my hair looks cute, though. She said, thanks for love, everyone. Trying to keep my best. Trying my best to keep positive. And while one of the big theories about why this is a work, that's not true anymore. But Sasha Banks did say, Mum, keep those positive vibes flowing, and we'll let you know as soon as we hear something about Bayley. What the fuck? Sasha Banks also said, get well soon. Bayley. What bit was that bit there? We haven't done that bit either yet, have we? Alright. So yeah, like you said, Dan, she's injured. Are you upset about Bayley's injury?
Yes, I am. You know, she managed to overcome Nia Jax and get herself the number one contendership shot. But, you know, they've had to move on and try and overcome it. And I think it'll be a good match, whoever it is, if it's going to be Nia Jax or Sasha Banks.
Yeah, and we'll talk more about this on our kickoff show for SummerSlam. But we move on, and the top guys just can't catch a break. Well, maybe they can, because they are out of the picture for SummerSlam after WWE announced Monday that Scott Dawson suffered a ruptured bicep. The Revival weren't yet announced for a match at SummerSlam, but almost certain would have taken part if it wasn't for Dawson's injury. With both the Hardy Boys and Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson in recent weeks.
It's unclear how long the injury will sideline Dawson, but at the very least, he'll be unable to wrestle at SummerSlam on October the 20th in Brooklyn, New York. The injury comes after Dawson's tag team partner Dash Wilder suffered a fractured jaw in April that kept the Revival out until June.
Yeah, they've not been lucky, have they, this year? And hopefully they can start again. The latest word on it is that maybe Scott Dawson won't be able to come back until December. The Revival will have to start 2018 fresh. Arrivals, and there is yet another former Ring of Honor star headed to the WWE. Donovan Dijak said he was finishing up with his independent bookings. He will finish up the main of his dates over the next couple of weeks and then head to the WWE Performance Centre next month. Top of the page, dear.
Dijak has been on WWE's radar since last January. He had an offer from WWE in January, but it was rescinded because of legal threats from Ring of Honor due to alleged contract tampering. He was in limbo for a few months after opting not to sign a new Ring of Honor contract in February. And Dijak, a free sport athlete in high school, led his football team in tackles and sacks during his junior year and senior year. He also led the basketball team in rebounding during his senior year and earned an all-league honours in both sports. He made his Ring of Honor debut in 2014 and announced his departure in February. That announcement helped fuel the rumours about his future in WWE.
Yes, another Ring of Honor guy on his way. Rey Mysterio might be coming back to the WWE. Dan, what do you think about that?
Yeah, he did definitely bring his own unique way of wrestling, I suppose, and yeah, why not? I'm all for it.
Yeah.
We spoke about Mysterio making a possible return to the company after many years away. Well, not.
Yeah, I'd just say we didn't, and yeah, this is kind of the update from it, and it's not anymore. Go on, continue, sorry.
Well, this, of course, means GFW, assuming Lucha Underground is out of the running, pending its 4th season, becomes the front runner for Mysterio's services. Considering his name, power and ability to keep himself out of the headlines, he seems like a real candidate to become the top guy with that promotion, assuming they can reach a deal. For now, we just have to wait a little longer for Mysterio to return to WWE. He'll almost surely be back someday, just not anytime soon. Well, as far as Mysterio goes, future Hall of Famer?
I think most definitely, but I don't know if he'll ever wrestle in the WWE again, because I think his knees are shot anyway. What can he give us? Like we talked about star power last time, but it's obviously Vince McMahon is not interested, so there we go. Alright, we move on now to departures, and well, I can exclusively report that WWE has released NXT wrestler Ho Ho Lun. Lun, who founded the Hong Kong Pro Wrestling Federation, signed with WWE in 2016 and was participant in the WWE Cruiserweight Classic. He defeated the Real Davari in the first round, but was eliminated in the second round by my man, Noam Dar. Lun last wrestled for NXT in the television tapings in late June, where he was defeated by the Velveteen Dream. He was my Iceland pick, and he's no more. The only one I have left in the WWE now is Noam Dar. News is as well that he actually asked for his release from the WWE Ho Ho Lun due to personal reasons, so it might be just a matter of time.
So I've still got TJP.
Yeah.
Who was my other pick?
Kota Ibushi.
Kota Ibushi.
Yeah, he's not in it. And Grand Metalik.
Oh.
So, yeah, like I say, Grand Metalik is still around, so you got 2 out of 3.
Well, departures. WWE star Eva Marie is leaving the company 4 years after making her debut on the main roster. Eva Marie announced her departure from WWE on Twitter on Friday. Today, I'm saying a bittersweet goodbye to WWE fans. Thanks to the entire team and you, my fans, for these 4 years. # all red everything forever.
What do you think of Eva Marie? You upset that she's gone?
Nope.
Well, her official main roster debut came July 1st in the WWE 2013, when she was involved in a Raw segment involving other cast members of the e-reality show Total Divas. After being a part of the 10-woman tag team match at WrestleMania 32, Maria's television appearances were more sporadic. She was drafted to SmackDown during the most recent brand split in July 2016, though she never wrestled as part of the gimmick to keep her out of the ring. She was suspended for 30 days by WWE in August 2016 after violating the company's wellness policy. She hasn't worked a WWE television show since her suspension. So you're not sad to see Eva Marie go then?
No, and as far as violating the company's wellness policy, I'm sure they must know that they get checked quite regularly. And, for people nowadays to be failing it, I think it's just stupid.
Yeah. I spoke to Ho Lund to confirm that why he has left the WWE. He asked for his release so he could return to Hong Kong to look after his ailing mother. This is what he said. He said, I went to Hong Kong for vacation about 3 weeks ago, and that's when I realised that my mother is sick, he said.
Yes, because she tried touching him inappropriately.
That's why Matt Bloom, the head coach of the PC, I wanted to request my release. Lund is already booked for indie matches in Singapore and Macau.
Oh.
And he said he hopes to share what he learned at the WWE Performance Centre with the wrestlers back home. I want to thank the WWE fans for supporting me over the last 13 months, Lund said. I hope they can keep following me. I hope they can keep following me with my next journey, because I will be making history by helping the scene in Asia, and maybe one day I can come back to the WWE again and perform as a WWE superstar. But more importantly, James, thank you for your support during the CWC and picking me as Iceland. Injury news now. And according to correspondents in attendance for the WWE Live event in Cocoa, Florida, Buddy Murphy appeared to have suffered some sort of ankle or leg injury as he went down during his tag team main event with Cassius Ohno versus Hideo Itami and the Velveteen Dream. Following the injury, a WWE trainer came down to assist Murphy, but he appeared to insist on staying in the match. Referee Jake Wirtz then came down to ringside and appeared to convince Murphy to leave the match to get the injury tended to. And of course, match by himself. But I'm a big fan of Buddy Murphy. He's my one of my three guys in NXT, and it's a shame, but hopefully he can maybe be repackaged and then come back unless he's released, because we don't want that to happen. But anyway, more injury news, Dan.
Yes, WWE announced Bayley suffered a right shoulder injury during a match against Nia Jax during Monday night's Raw episode. We've determined the injury is shoulder related, and she will be going under further diagnostic testing later this week to determine the extent of the injury, and also to establish a timetable for recovery, Dr. Chris Amann said in a statement. The injury occurred when Jax threw her out of the ring during the match, and Bayley barely used her arm for the rest of the contest.
Yeah, even though she did use it post-match altercation with Alexa Bliss, she said everything just tensed up around it. I've never had an injury like this before, so I can't really know what it is. I guess we're going to see. Well, Dan, is it real? Is it still...
Well, we have seen, and Bayley will be unable to challenge Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's Championship at SummerSlam on October the 20th in New York City. So basically what's happened since then is Nia Jax won a triple threat match and Sasha Banks won a triple threat match, and they will both be facing next week on Raw to determine who's going to be the new number one contender for Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, so like we asked, is it real storyline work, shoot, or kayfabe? Lots of the week preceding this news to talk about. Finn Balor said, thinking of my friend. Bayley, no way, Jose says, sorry to hear about your injury. Hoping for the best, get well soon. Yeah, Bayley said, at least my hair looks cute though. She said, thanks, I love everyone, trying to keep my best, try my best to keep positive. So yeah, like you said, Dan, she's injured. Are you upset about Bayley's injury?
Yes, I am. She managed to overcome Nia Jax and get herself the number one contendership shot. But, they've had to move on and try and overcome it. And I think it'll be a good match, whoever it is, if it's going to be Nia Jax or Sasha Banks. Yeah,
and we'll talk more about this on our kickoff show for SummerSlam. But we move on, and the top guys just can't catch a break. Well, maybe they can, because they are out of the picture for SummerSlam after WWE announced Monday that Scott Dawson suffered a ruptured bicep. The Revival weren't yet announced for a match at SummerSlam, but almost certain wouldn't have taken part, would have taken part if it wasn't for Dawson's injury, with both the Hardy Boys and Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson in recent weeks.
It's unclear how long the injury will sideline Dawson, but at the very least, he'll be unable to wrestle at SummerSlam on October the 20th in Brooklyn, New York. The injury comes after Dawson's tag team partner Dash Wilder suffered a fractured jaw in April that kept the Revival out until June.
Yeah, they've not been lucky, have they, this year? And hopefully they can start again. The latest word on it is that maybe Scott Dawson won't be able to come back until December. The Revival will have to start 2018 fresh. But move on, more network news. For the second quarter of 2017, WWE had a total of 1,633,000 subscribers to the WWE Network, out of which 156,606 out of which 1.5 million were active paying subscriptions. This is down overall from Q1 2017 when they had 1.697 million subscribers and over 1.5 million subscriptions.
It's only 20,000 down from paying subscriptions, so it's not a great deal, is it?
No, about 1.1 million were located in the United States and 410,000 were worldwide. And only 65,000 people on a free trial account about it.
What's interesting is that a total of 604,000 people cancelled their subscription during the quarter. WWE got just under 600,000 new subs to counteract that massive churn.
So that's incredible when you think about the amount of people who've cancelled, the amount of people that have gone on in that time, you know?
Yeah, you know, again, it's 6,000 down on, you know, the people that cancelled to the new subscribers. But during WrestleMania week, WWE Network subscribers watched 22.5 million hours of content, averaging approximately 13 hours per subscriber. WWE announced its 2017 second quarter earnings Thursday and heralded the quarter as a record-breaking period in terms of revenue. According to the report, revenue reached an all-time high of 214.6 million, which represented an increase. Also, WWE Network averaged 1.63 million paid subscribers over the course of the quarter, in an 8% increase from 2016's second quarter.
Well, WWE Chairman and Chief Executive Officer Vince McMahon expressed a positive outlook regarding WWE's financial situation following the earnings report. He said, "We are pleased with our ongoing efforts to execute our multi-platform content strategy as evidenced by the continued year-over-year growth on the WWE Network, the increased production of localised programming across platforms and markets, and the attraction of new sponsors."
Well, their revenue has reached 214.6 million. Yeah. They can't afford to pay out a couple of million for some fucking fireworks
yeah.
and talking smack.
Exactly, yeah, they're going to cut it. And I wouldn't be surprised if soon we get another, Black Tuesday where we have quite a few wrestlers release it. It wouldn't surprise me if they're trying to do it. But they're trying to point a positive light on it, haven't they? Because WWE also mentioned that WrestleMania, held in Orlando, Florida, was the most watched WrestleMania of all time, having been viewed by 1.995 million households worldwide.
With regard to the remainder of 2017, WWE expects another all-time company record to fall in the form of 100 million adjusted operating income before depreciation and amortization, which would be up nearly 25% from 2016.
So they'll be up 25% from this time last year, a quarter. That is good, but obviously they're saying it's not as good as they promised, really, But we move on, and Road Dogg was in the news as well.
Yes, it's hard to believe that a guy who used to make veiled references to marijuana on live television and yell "suck it" all the time is a head creative mind of SmackDown Live. But Road Dogg is a top dog of WWE's Blue brand. After Sunday's Battleground show, a lot of people were left feeling unsatisfied, to say the least. The main event was planned and the finish to AJ Styles / Kevin Owens match was totally screwed up. At the time, we knew the US title match didn't end right, but in time we would discover why.
Well, there were some fans out there who wanted to place all the blame on the DOGG. The ending of the Shinsuke fucking Nakamura and Baron Corbin match might have been the straw to break the camel's back, as Road Dogg broke his silence and responded in full force. Of course, it didn't stop there, so be prepared to listen to some pretty amazing tweets for the rest of this article.
Road Dogg went on to say, "Thanks for sticking up and understanding. Most are not willing to try and understand all the variables. They need someone to blame. It's me. He also went on to say, dear haters, I've got 2 words for you, and they ain't fire Road Dogg.
I wonder what that could be. Road Dogg's Twitter response spree soon became a full-fledged block party as he grew tired of our opinions of his work. So I've only done one good one. I really ran you're blocked, he said. Dumb, I'm sorry, you're freak blocked, he said. There's a difference between opinion and hateful negativity. Just my opinion.
No, Road Dogg is one blocked. Road Dogg is one word. It's my name, and it's made up so I can make up the rules too. Of course, it wasn't all bad. Some people actually had Road Dogg's back and said he certainly realised that. Well said. I'd argue that they are not fans at all, but critics. I enjoy the things I'm a fan of.
And he said, that's a fair assessment, Nathan. Thanks for being fair and respectful, dude.
Blocked.
Fucking hell, man. I mean, come on, Road Dogg. Just don't respond to him, you know? We get hateful comments, but we don't give these people airtime, do we? WWE was in Nashville for Monday Night Raw last week with GWF meetings in the same city. That meant talent from both companies are running into out and about, which isn't anything to write home about, of course.
But there's a story going around this week that is absolutely worth writing about, and it started in the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, where Dave Meltzer wrote that Braun Strowman and Karen Jarrett got into it at a bar. That's the long and short of it, according to Observer's telling, is that Karen approached Braun about an autograph for her son, and he was rude in response. This led to Karen cutting a big promo on him, where she revealed the current Raw general manager Kurt Angle is the father of the son she was asking for an autograph for, and she would be informing him of what happened.
Well, at this point, Strowman apparently became extremely apologetic, even getting on his knees and begging her not to tell Angle about what happened. She scolded him for only after finding out Angle was the boy's father, and he agreed while I continued to apologise.
Today, PW Insider followed up with its side of the story, saying the two did have a conversation, but a witness told them it was just 2 drunk people getting loud with each other and nothing else. Karen's thoughts on the recent loud bar incident recently between her and Braun Strowman. KJ, oh my goodness, I can clear the air. It was a silly incident where you have 2 people in the wrestling business playing their characters, being silly, and it got blown way out of proportion.
Well, very interesting. A little bit of light news there with Braun Strowman apparently getting down on his knees to say sorry, Karen. And of course the Road Dogg thing. I'll tell you one thing we haven't had this month yet. Well, I know the episode's not going out yet, but no deaths at this time in being. So we'll see what happens, see if anybody can do it in a week. But yeah, what have you thought of the news this month, Dan?
You know, it's just been stories, mainly, you know, hearsay and people putting stories right.
I think what's interesting, like the UFC thing, and that all happening, it could be a golden generation WWE if they can get the audience from the UFC from them to start going into the product, and we start having people like Ronda Rousey or John Jones or you know.
Does that kind of piss on what Conor McGregor said, you know, a little while back about WWE wrestlers and like, you know, how it's all, you know, fake and it's words, but you know how it's a lesser product.
Exactly, but I think he did that on purpose, and I think Conor McGregor will probably have a WWE payday down the line as well. I think this is what these fighters are thinking. They think we can fight, have a proper career, and then once that's done, move over to WWE and get paid, because WWE will pay the money. We know this, don't we, you know? And that would become of it. So, yeah, we move on anyway, and we got probably our favourite and longest running segment in the WNR podcast history. It's NXT Update, but the question is, Dan, when does NXT Update start?
Now!
Hey! Yeah.
I'm taking back what's mine, I ain't giving in to what they tell me. Nah, I ain't listening. Can't deny I was made for this. Shove it back in the faces who say I miss. I'm taking back what's mine, I ain't giving in to what they tell me. Nah, I ain't listening. Can't deny I was made for this.
So yes, episode 402. It's the 19th of July, and the first match, well, it's a doozy, Dan, because it's Ember Moon versus Ruby Riott.
I hope we see an eclipse.
Well, we'll see what happens here. It's interesting because 2 weeks ago at the Performance Centre, we saw Ruby Riott having a conversation with Ember Moon saying, don't think you can have Asuka and a Women's Championship that easy. We saw Asuka going through Nikki Cross. Does Ember Moon have to go through Ruby Riott, Dan, to get to Asuka?
Well, if she wants to be the top dog on NXT, she's going to have to go through all the good competitors, and she's already been through one, so I think all that's left is for her to go through Ruby Riott.
Well, it's going to be a great matchup, isn't it,
Yes.
At least they've got defining character traits, like I say. Obviously, Ruby Riott looks like a female CM Punk. And Ember Moon, of course, would be I'm not going to get onto that. So they're going to tie up in the early going. Dan, who's your favourite going into this one?
Ember Moon.
I like Ruby Riott, but she's playing a difficult part at the moment where she's being the face, as it was, and having a feud with Nikki Cross. But those two girls, I think, are on a collision course. But they've got to do something in the meantime, haven't they? And Ember Moon and Asuka obviously got the meeting that is going to happen. I don't care what anybody says. And there's just a way of getting there. But I think it's quite a good story because I think these 4 women are the best in NXT at this moment in time, aren't they,
Yeah. And that's including males as well, I reckon.
Well, they've got 4 great characters, haven't they?
Yeah. In my opinion, I think it goes Asuka, Moon, Cross, then Riott.
I think that would be fair to say, yeah. But I think that each of them can have great matches, and I think to see Ember Moon here, she earning her opportunity, just not giving the title shot at Asuka, going through the women as it is. And I think you could say as well that the women's division is stronger at the moment than the males.
Yeah, well, definitely, especially with these 4 characters. I mean, even including the Raw and SmackDown rosters as well. They've got a couple of standout names, but I think these women on NXT are performing a lot better than on Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. As you see there, Ruby Riott trying to flip Ember Moon. She landed on her feet perfectly. These women haven't put a step wrong, have they? And even people like Peyton Royce and Billie Kay seem to be improving week after week, and that's the job NXT should be doing as well. Whereas some of the women get lost in the shuffle on Raw and SmackDown. But who's got the strength advantage at least two then?
Ember Moon.
You think Ember Moon's got it?
Yeah.
So Ember's got strength, speed.
I'll give that to Ruby.
Speed to Ruby.
Agility to Ember.
Yeah, but I think Ruby maybe take the shortcut. I don't know, maybe take the shortcut for the victory. It doesn't seem that way, though, since joining NXT. She's getting the arm drags on Ember.
But, I see Ruby as quite a facey character, as I do Ember as well. They won't... Neither women will try and take the shortcut out.
Yeah.
And, unlike Asuka, who wins at any cost recently.
Yeah, we have seen that side. Of course, Nikki Cross, who's just batshit crazy anyway, so...
Yeah. I don't think she needs to take an advantage because her craziness is the advantage.
But Ruby Riott wants to impress, wants to be, wants to have a chance at the NXT Women's title one-on-one with the, unbeaten Asuka. She might just be the only superstar in WWE history that just remains unbeaten. I can't see an end of it at the moment. I don't know, Ember Moon even if she does get through this tonight and finally gets a one-on-one with Asuka, I don't know about her chances. It'll be difficult as Ruby Riott might catch Ember off then.
But are you thinking that the only way Asuka's going to lose her title is in a triple threat match or a fatal 4-way?
Yeah, or literally just giving a title away. Just being one of those who just gives a title and says, "Look, I've done everything. I've completed the game. I've won NXT. Like, there's the title back. I'm going to go up on the main roster." I think
she did have a brief appearance on SmackDown for a match, didn't she? A tag match.
Well, yes, and she's been on the road with SmackDown now for most of the time, having matches and adding to the legendary streak, which is. So if she does debut on Raw or SmackDown, to come off a loss like that, the character of Asuka, even though maybe the people watching Raw or SmackDown might know who she is, the amount of stuff they could do just with showing videos of what she's been doing, that could work so well. But Ember Moon, the only person she struggled with in the whole of NXT has been Asuka, as we've seen, even live in person.
Because she's, not going to say it too loosely, but she struggled with Nikki Cross in the last women's standing match.
Yeah.
She didn't struggle so much when it was Nikki Cross and Ruby Riott together, though.
No, she didn't, did she? But I think, Nikki Cross is one that's come closest to defeating Asuka. But it all depends if, Ruby Riott or Ember Moon can actually do it in a one-on-one situation. It's so difficult. Asuka's been there for so long, it's hard to forget that, people like Bayley, people like Becky Lynch as well have faced Asuka. So Asuka's pretty much beaten them all when it comes to NXT. And this is Ruby Riott's chance here tonight to try and prove that she belongs as she goes off the top now on Ember.
Oh, with a big senton. Can she get the cover and the victory? 1, 2.
Oh.
But Moon managing to kick out.
And like I said, though, will we see the Eclipse tonight? Probably the greatest finisher move in WWE right now. I can't think of one that excites me more. As Ember backed up in the corner by Ruby. Mixed at the moment, but Ember catches Ruby in a big sidewalk slam, but only gets a 2.
2.
Oh, Ember, is she looking for it?
Well, she's crawling to the corner. Can she try and finish Ruby off quite quickly, to be honest? Ruby's making her way to her feet. Oh, meets Moon with a forearm.
Had this scouted, hasn't she? She knows where Ember Moon's going to strike from, and Ember's caught on the top. Oh, huge chop to the chest. Ruby going up to meet Ember. Oh!
Hurricane Rana off the second rope. Goes for the cover.
2. Oh!
Moon kick out.
Oh. Ruby can't believe it.
She's going crazy.
She is. How can she put Ember Moon down? Oh, Ruby right now's got the arm of Ember. Of course, she injures that. Won't be able to hit the Eclipse. Ember knows this. Tries to defend.
But gets caught with a big floor and a kick to the calf. Moon going for a clothesline. Riott ducking it and hitting her with a forearm and a few kicks of her own.
Oh, but Ember catches the boot of Ruby, turns her around. Oh!
Fucking hell, a big discus right hand there, knocking Ruby out.
And now can Ember Moon get some momentum on her side? Both women struggling to get to their feet. Ruby going for the clothesline.
Moon ducking it, hits a lovely drop kick. Turns her inside out with a lovely back body drop. Rolls her up onto her feet.
Oh, Ember feeling it now. Look at that. Well, you can't see it, so there's no point looking at it. Look, she roars. Oh,
a handspring forearm there to Riott in the corner. Setting her up for the most beautiful move.
Here comes Ember Moon off the top. Is it an Eclipse? Boom!
Hits the Eclipse. Good night, Riott. 2, 3. And like that, I think she won it relatively easy.
I think it was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Ruby had a little bit of success, but Ember seems to be, still injured. But and Ruby Riott says something to Ember Moon as Ember gets the victory. Dan, what do you think of the match?
We saw an eclipse, so I'm over the moon. So if anyone's going to beat Asuka's reign, would you like to see Ember Moon doing it?
Well, she looked very impressive in this one, didn't she? Like I say, it didn't take long to put down Ruby Riott. And I think, yes, if anybody's going to do it, it will be Ember Moon. But will she get her opportunity, Asuka? This is a question we ask as we move forward on NXT Update. And we see one last replay of the greatest finishing move in WWE today.
Up next, Cassius Ohno held a press conference that two reporters attended. Hideo Itami came up and referenced the match they will be having next week, and Ohno confirmed that he asked for it. So, next week it is Hideo Itami versus Cassius Ohno.
Oh, that will be a huge match on NXT, and we get a video, and the Street Profits are coming. More about them soon. But our next match is Only Lorcan. Only who? Only Lorcan versus Danny Burch. This promised to be a hard-hitting match between these two rough-looking, hard-nosed fighters. And let's see if they delivered.
Good, Danny Burch.
Well, of course, Danny Burch, Englishman, always been a fan. I'm getting a fan of Only Lorcan here. And whilst Buddy Murphy's out injured, can I substitute him with Only Lorcan as one of my NXT guys? Because you need 3, didn't you? So
I've only got 1.
You need to build a team up stable. No, you got CN. CN's one of yours. Yes, he is, because he's the same birthday.
Well, yeah. It's not through choice, though. Through choosing,
Well, I've been impressed with Only Lorcan. We've seen his performances against the 311 boy CN, your man, as he goes up against Danny Burch here. And the collar and elbow tie up and now trying to out-wrestle each other. Of course, Burch, the veteran of the independent scene.
Come on, you bunch of baldies.
You look like, the three of you should be a team.
And the ref.
Now both men tying up the corner. Now Only backing up Danny Burch.
Go, Danny Burch. Oh, hits Lorcan with a big right hand. As I spurred him on. Come on, you Spurs.
Working him in the corner. He's stomping a mud hole in him down. He's walking it dry. Irish rip attempt.
Oh, Lorcan reverses, throws Burch into the corner.
But Only runs into the big boot of Burch.
Oh, and a lovely seated drop kick off the second rope. And Burch nips up there. He's quite ripped.
Yeah, fair play, Danny Burch. Oh.
These two would make a good tag team, actually. They look very similar.
Gets caught with the uppercut by Only, but then he gets caught with a boot to the face. Would make a really hard hitting team, I think. As Burch has got him up. What a Tower of London there. Burch, get him down, no.
Oh, but Lorcan managing to kick out.
Oh, I don't know, but that's a good name for a move, isn't it? Oh, and Danny, Only Lorcan's in serious trouble. Burch going to try and put him away.
Oh, backslide by Lorcan. Bounce off the rope and gives him a neck breaker there. Oh, and then runs into him with a brutal looking uppercut. Goes for the cover. 1, 2.
Oh.
But Burch managing to kick out.
Ah. Talked about TURF. I love the cruiserweights, but then again, I really like a fight. I like it when they lay it in.
Oh, Burch has been busted open. He's got internal bleeding from the nose.
But he's putting gloves on now, weirdly enough. And look at this, just staring at Only Lorcan. He don't care he's been busted. Uppercut by Only. Burch likes it.
Oh, delivers his own. A trivecta of uppercuts there for Burch. Oh, followed up with a fourth. He's going uppercut city.
Knee to the face.
And Only Lorcan's just slapping the granny out of Burch. But he runs into Burch's elbow and then gets taken out big time.
Here comes Burch. Powerbomb.
Oh. 1, 2. Oh. Lorcan with a kick out.
Oh.
And Burch's face. Covered in blood. He's bleeding like a...
Danny Burch in trouble. Well, I say in trouble. He might be bleeding, but Only Lorcan's the one in trouble at the moment. And is Burch going to go for another big right hand? Now he's going to set him up again. Top rope.
Sitting Lorcan up on the top rope. This move's going to be heavy here. Is he going for a superplex? Oh, no, but Lorcan's fighting out.
Look at the elbows right on point as well. Oh. Burch gets thrown away. Lorcan, dives over the top.
Oh, but Lorcan goes down low, takes the leg, gets him in a half Boston. And Burch taps out quite quickly.
And Burch knew he got caught and he had no choice but to tap out. But I tell you what, you talk about hard-hitting affair, Dan. What about that?
Oh, bloody hell, yeah. Great match between the two. Not too keen on the ending. I'd like to see it go on for another 10, 15 minutes more. But, definitely these two blokes proved their weight in gold. And just the face of Burch busted wide open.
Well, we've been talking about UFC and MMA on this podcast, but this new hard style of wrestling has really been NXT's kind of go-to recently, especially the UK championship matches and stuff like this as well, Dan. It's great to see. Even the Oscar fucking Nikki Cross match, that kind of violence involved. We're getting the replays now.
It's a shame I don't let them do what they do in NXT on the main card, though. That's, the only annoying...
But at least it makes NXT different and enjoyable.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the good thing about it. And now Only Lorcan...
offering the man his hand.
And what a sign of respect there. Oh,
Burch is asking for a rematch.
And the fans want it.
Fans, yeah. They want it.
We want it.
I want it.
One more match. Only seems to agree. The WNR's come a long way when we're excited for a Danny Burch versus Only Lorcan rematch because we know.
Well, we rinsed Only Lorcan when we first saw him, but now we've gone on to appreciate him. And, he's working out of his skin. Going against Danny Burch as well, you know, it's, most definitely worthwhile.
Yeah, no, it's great as we move on. And the next match, it was No Way Jose versus Cesar Bononi. It was Fiesta time, Dan.
Yes, No Way Jose has dropped off the face of the earth after he was injured by Santity before WrestleMania. But a match with Bononi may be what he needs. In case his name sounds familiar, Bononi is the person who randomly beat Cien almost 2 months ago and then fell off the face of the earth. These two found each other out in time and space, returned to Earth, and we're here to do battle.
Well, we may have discovered why both men haven't been on TV in a while, as Bononi mistimed a dropkick and kicked Jose right in the face. I know it ain't ballet, but Jose was probably hurting from that. Coincidentally or not, that's when Jose made his comeback and won with a pop-up punch to the face.
Cien then stormed to the ring with still the unnamed Thea Trinidad, to attack Bononi. He was so angry about the loss that he stewed for 2 months. Joe returned to the ring to run him off. Yeah,
so Jose was there to save the day. And then, of course, we know because we've already watched it. In the main event, Drew McIntyre defeated Killian Dane to become the number one contender for the NXT Championship. He will face Bobby Roode at NXT Takeover Brooklyn 3. What a match it will be. And what a good episode of NXT that was, Dan.
That was a bloody good episode, yes.
Yeah, all in all, really, really good. So we move on to our next episode of NXT, which is episode, believe it or not, 403, the 26th of July. So we start off like we started off last week's episode with Ember Moon in action. Dan, what are the chances tonight of an eclipse?
Very highly.
Well, we'll see what happens. She might be a harder opponent than Ruby Riott from last week, but Ember Moon is in the zone. If you start off and... Oh, I'll tell you what. Tapper, is it? Tapper. Big woman, and she's thrown away.
She started off straight at the bell, ran right towards Ember Moon, knocking her into the corner, then throwing her from one side of the ring to the other.
Oh, from pillar to post, and now she's big headbutt to Ember. Oh, my God. Yes, that was your head, dear. Well, she's got a Roman nose, isn't it, Dan?
It's Roman all over her face.
Fucking is. And she goes for the Chris Benoit. And now Ember Moon's in the corner. Ember Moon with the boot up. And now she's going to try and pick up the power. Oh!
Oh, my. That's an insane show of strength there from Ember Moon.
Oh!
Running drop kick sends Lady Tapper to the mat.
Well, she's going to pay for hurting Ember Moon. Look at the kicks. Oh!
Well, she will have hell to pay.
She will. That is a better one there. As Ember Moon hits her big forearm. And now she's going up, Dan. This will be the biggest eclipse in history. Oh!
Boom!
Oh!
She sold it poorly.
Oh, my God.
But that's the eclipse, and that's the free for Ember Moon within a minute and a half
Yes.
of the bell going.
Well, she's in the zone. She is in the zone. Here, look at that. She's smiling.
No.
She's smirking there.
No, she hasn't got a fag in her mouth. She's just got a grin on her face.
She's smiling because she puts away
Lady Tapper.
Lady Tapper. She puts away Lady Tapper. Will she get Asuka? We'll have to ask her. We'll find out later on.
Ron.
What did you think of the match, Dan?
Well, you know, that Lady Tapper, whatever she is, started off strong. She looks quite big and like a monster, but, you know, she was no match for Ember Moon. You know, it's over quicker than it started.
It was, and Ember Moon ever so impressive here. And
while officials help tap her to the back, Ember gets on the mic and says she wants Asuka at Takeover. The champ says she wants competition, she wants a worthy challenge. Moon will give her all she desires. They've been on this journey before, and Ember knows she's ready for Asuka. The question is the Empress of Tomorrow ready for Ember Moon?
it is gonna happen, isn't it? We know it is. All the hype and the well. But up next, Mario Ronaldo brings up Roderick Strong's tweet saying he's not done with Bobby Roode.
Well, he's going to have to get in line.
He is. There is a lot of people in line, like
Aleister Black.
Yeah.
And it's a hype video, which will indeed get you hyped to fade. Fade to black.
Well, then we had the Authors of Pain versus Timothy Bumpers and David Ramos. And this never starts because Nikki Cross stops AOP and Paul Ellering on the ramp while Killian Dane and Alexander Wolf attack Bumpers and Ramos from behind.
They dispatched the enhancement talent and Akam and Razar marched past Cross to get in the ring. After a brief stare down, it's on! Akam takes out Wolf quickly, but Dane flattens Razar with a lariat. He bounces back and gets his partner to help him take out the big Irishman. Then they hit the tandem moves on both men. Dane is incensed, but Cross holds him back while Wolf laughs. The scene ends with the champ standing tall in the ring while Sanity celebrates.
So are you excited for Sanity versus Authors of Pain? Look like they're going to go that way.
Most definitely, yeah. You know, it should be an interesting match. I can't see Akam and Razar getting taken out quite easily, though.
No, it's going to be a tough task, but if anybody can do it, maybe Sanity can get the job done at TakeOver. And we see another Street Profits video. They are coming soon. More on that later.
After a recap of last week's post-match confrontation between No Way Jose and Andrade Almas, we see a scene from the parking lot earlier today when Almas's mysterious friend, identified as Zelina Vega, stops Jose to commend him for doing what he thought was right because he got in their business, and that's a fire he can't dance around.
Well, Zelina Vega is not related to Savio Vega, as we know. Up next, Velveteen Dream defeated Cesar Bonini. Fucking hell, why is he always in matches when I can't pronounce his name? Via pinfall following Purple Rainmaker. It's similar to the Moon Tapper match. It was Bononi overpowered Dream early on until a Death Valley bomb led to the elbow drop and a quick finish.
Afterwards, Kayla Braxton stops Dream on the stage and asks him what his goals are. He turns the question around on her, saying he might talk to a decently dressed woman like herself, but not in front of the ugliness that is the NXT universe. Her Velveteen Dream experience is going to have to wait.
Well, Chrissy St. Cloud is in William Regal's office and asks the general manager about Ember's comments. He reveals that Moon versus Asuka will be the women's title match in Brooklyn. It is on, Dan, like Donkey Kong. Up next, Drew McIntyre comes to the ring for a promo. In a month, he'll be in a main event against Bobby Roode for the NXT title. The biggest main event in NXT history. Doesn't get any bigger than that. Dan, what does he say?
He thanks everyone who's been on this journey with him.
We have, though, haven't we?
We have.
We've met him.
We've been on this journey with him since he was in the independent scene.
Exactly, and we said to him, look, mate, when you make it, you know, we'll be following you. And he said, oh, fucking give me whiskey. No, but we, like I said, we have, and I will have, Dan, maybe there's a chance in a month's time, upstairs in my room, I will have a signed Rangers t-shirt by the NXT champion Drew McIntyre. We just don't know, Dan. Just imagine if he becomes WWE champion and then I sell it on eBay.
You have to sell it to someone called James, unless a Rangers fan.
Yeah, how many James? You know, James is quite a popular name in Scotland.
Hey, Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy.
Hey, fuck you, Jimmy.
Go to Glasgow, shout Jim in the street. Fucking hundreds of people do.
I get fucking abutted, you cunt.
You would. So yes, that is a huge match. And what did he say?
Well, he thanks everyone who's been on the journey with him.
Us.
This is when.
Thanks for that.
This is when people reflect. No, this is when people reflect on what brought them here. But he only goes forward. When he showed up in WWE, he was known as the Chosen One. That was a problem, though, because when he wasn't the hardest worker in the room, he failed. So when he left, he became the hardest worker in the damn world. And
like we say, we saw him in it became the ICW champion. He wrestled for Impact, didn't he? And became the world champion. Everywhere he went, he found success, you know?
Apart from WWE.
Fuck you. Anyway.
Every company he was with benefited.
You're damn right, Dan.
But it wasn't just him.
No, it
wasn't.
Was
every guy and gal in the locker room.
Yeah, you're right. And everybody in the back supporting him, everybody in the crowd.
That's why he signed with NXT in the first place.
Yeah, because I told him to. You're damn right.
Everyone is moving forward together except for one man.
Oh.
When he looks in Roode's eyes, he sees entitlement. It's not Bobby's NXT. It's that guy. It's that kid's NXT. He has a message for the champ. We are NXT.
What did you think of it, Dan? Were you impressed by Drew McIntyre?
It was like a scene straight out of Braveheart, James.
He brought fire to it, though, didn't he? To be fair to him. Are you excited for the match?
Excited as you, but, you know, it is... Because, you know, even though all the mocking, I do quite enjoy watching Bobby Roode's match, even though, you know, it's only once in a blue moon.
Yeah.
He doesn't fight that often.
No.
But, you know, seeing Drew McIntyre, someone who was in 3MB with Jinder Mahal and Heath Slater, you know, and Heath Slater's gone on to become tag team champion, Jinder Mahal's gone on to be a cunt. And, you know, person left, Drew McIntyre, you know, what can he achieve?
Let's see what he can achieve at NXT Takeover Brooklyn 3. It's what a match. We're going to just build the shit out of it as we go along. Up next.
Another Aleister Black hype video. Also dope. Kayla interviews Raul Mendoza backstage. He will face Johnny Gargano in his first match since Chicago next week. Mendoza knows Johnny's been training hard, but so has he. Maybe next week won't be about Gargano's return. Maybe it will be about Raul Mendoza.
We just don't know. Maybe he's the next big star. And Bobby Roode will respond to Drew McIntyre on next week's episode. And I've got to say something to Drew McIntyre. Like, don't get me wrong. I love you, but don't be disillusioned. It is Bobby Roode's NXT. And the reigning, defending face of NXT, Bobby Roode, the NXT champion, will be here next week as we move on to our main event, which is going to be Cassius Ohno versus Hideo Itami.
It is now time for the main event.
Yes, it is. It is Hideo Itami versus Cassius Ohno. Danny, are you looking forward to watching this match?
No.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, I'm not.
Oh, no. Yeah, it should be a good match. It looks like Hideo Itami's just woken up with bed hair. But, you know, I can't help but reminisce back to the match I saw of Seth Rollins versus Cassius Ohno back in their developmental days, and Ohno didn't need to wear a vest.
No, I'm a huge fan of Cassius Ohno, the former Chris Hero, going even back to when in the independent scene with CM Punk when he first started, the matches they had together. Ohno's trouble has been his weight, and now that's why he left NXT first time around, and now he's got the vest on, and he's kind of been with Itami since debuting back in NXT, hasn't he?
So can I just say, he left NXT to address his weight issues, he put a vest on and come back.
Yeah, exactly, that was how they did it. But anyway, because you got to remember Cassius Ohno, the KO gimmick was given to him before it was Kevin Owens. So you got to look at the success Kevin Owens had, and maybe that was meant to be for Ohno. But then again, you can't really say. It's like Itami with Nakamura, isn't it? Itami was the first Japanese star to come in, got the injury, and then Nakamura took it over. So these are kind of guys who are originals, but are actually known
playing second fiddle now.
Exactly, yeah, the replacements now in a kind of weird way. And they've been friends, you know, this is meant to be friendly. They want to see who's worthwhile, who, you know, in that number one contendership match or have a future NXT title match. Itami and Ohno have both been on the losing end of Roode, so, you know, they need to turn it round in that way. I mean, who are you backing in this one?
Hideo Itami. I'd like to see Itami win.
Like I say, I'm a huge fan of Ohno. I think Ohno might get the job done here tonight, just because I've been impressed with him. And you know,
just because you've been impressed with him, he's going to win.
Yeah, no. Well,
that's
how I do it. You know, I was this close to it, and when we were at NXT, weren't we? You know, I could have reached out and
I was this close, weren't we?
We were.
Yes,
though.
we were.
I never want to go to another wrestling event because of how good that night was. It was incredible when you think about it. If you stop and think about it. It's wonderful. There was no other word.
It was awesome. It felt quite personal as well with the size of the arena. You know, it was perfect.
Yeah. I can't, you know, and you still get the memories back now as Ohno and Itami. Look at this by Ohno.
Well, you know, he may have issues with his size, but he's still quite an athletic worker.
He is diving over the top, but Itami catches him with a slap. And now the old soul kicks to the midsection.
And he's gone bent over that second rope. Itami's going up top. Oh, delivers a thunderous leg drop to the back of Ohno's head.
And I think lucky for Cassius, he rolls to the outside there. But we've seen this kind of new hard-hitting style of NXT wrestling. Just look at the Burt Shalorkin match we've seen. And they're continuing it here, aren't they, with Itami and Ohno. And I think McIntyre's one of those guys who can deliver that aggressive style. The question would be, can Bobby Roode, can he keep up with the NXT roster?
No.
This is the questions that I ask myself on a daily occasion.
This is the question that I answered. No. Right, Itami was in control. Cassius Ohno's going to be in control when we come back. Oh no, still Itami.
No, he's not. Yeah, back from the break, and Itami catches Ohno with a huge kick to the gut.
Oh, drops a big knee to Ohno's head. But Ohno with quite an aggressive kick out.
Ah.
I said an aggressive kick.
Ah! And Itami with a kick to Ohno's back. And Itami looks to send a message. He doesn't look impressed. He doesn't look like he's there to be a fan favourite. You know, he's not there to impress anybody. He's there to just beat people up, if that is his so-called friend.
Well, after what he done to Oney Lorcan, you can certainly tell that he's an aggressive fucker.
And now he's got the missed kicks on Cassius Ohno working away.
I'm shaking my head at that comment.
And Ohno, serious trouble. Referee's checking him. Oh, neckbreaker. Itami's trying to get him. No. 2. Is that John Jones? Oh, my word. Itami now with that neck clamp on Ohno. And fans here trying to get on Ohno's side. Trying to get back into this. Come on, big man.
But Ohno looks like he's going to sleep in the middle of the ring.
Well, the knees and the kicks by Itami to that lower back. He's zeroing in on it, isn't he? You know, after that, he's caught him out during.
Oh, thunderous kicks to the back of Ohno.
And seems like Cassius likes it. He's taunting Itami, but gets kicked in the face.
But Ohno trying to absorb everything Itami has to offer.
Oh.
Trying to work his way back into the match, but gets kicked over by Itami. Goes for the cover, but Ohno with the kick out.
Oh. Well, we're just getting a big banner across the screen saying Asuka returns. Next, what she'll have to say about the whole Ember Moon situation. As Itami now trying to wear down Ohno. Ohno has been beaten in this matchup, but he can still pull it out, can't he? Sending Itami back to the corner.
Well, can Itami get Ohno up onto his shoulders to deliver the GTS? The original GTS.
That's an excellent point, as Itami now's got him for the DDT. Oh, no.
Oh. Looks like Ohno was trying to deposit him to the outside, but Ohno kept hold of but Itami kept hold of Ohno's head and hung him up on the top rope. But Itami off the top rope gets caught by Ohno.
Oh, a huge right hand. And now Cassius with the chops, the combination, but runs into the kick at Itami. It has no effect. And like a steam engine with the clotheslines now.
Oh, a running lariat there takes down Itami. And Cassius Ohno starting to get in full control of this match.
And now here comes Cassio, discus kick.
Knocks Itami down, goes for the cover, 2. Oh. Itami with the kick out.
Oh my word. Ohno with a senton following it up with the cover. But again, Itami kicks out. And Ohno getting a little bit frustrated. He's got to strike whilst the iron's hot, and Itami staggering back the corner, trying to recover.
You see a replay of that discus boot to the face.
Brilliant. Ohno running towards Itami.
Oh, goes for a splash. Itami dodges it. Spinning heel kick to the midsection.
What's he setting him up for now? Can he get him up?
Fisherman suplex there. Lovely.
Oh, Itami showing that he's got power. As we can see there, the scar with the injury that kept him out for some time. But he's looking to finish off Cassius Ohno in this match now.
Oh, running drop kick to the head of Ohno.
Well, Itami seems a bit excited, but the crowd's not really behind him.
As he goes for a Benoit throat slit.
Well, now he's going to look to GTS Cassius Ohno. Oh!
Manages to get him up, but Ohno with a backslide. Holds on, but Itami hits him with a big back elbow.
Oh!
Runs off the rope straight into a big boot from Ohno.
Roaring elbow by Ohno. Oh!
But he gets a kick to the nuts, and this friendly match ended very unfriendly.
Oh my God, Itami kicked a field goal with Ohno's bollocks, basically. Referee had no choice, and this is not friendly. Itami now. Oh my word.
Pounding away at the head of Ohno.
Oh, has Itami lost it here in this match? Fucking hell.
Well, he's kicking away at the head of Ohno, and the ring bella's going mad. The bellman's going crazy with the bell, hoping that his incessive ringing will stop Itami's attack on Ohno.
Well, if anyone's going to have ringing, it would be the ringing in the ears of Cassius Ohno, but those kicks are going to definitely leave.
GTS. GTS.
Dan, there's a man down here. Oh no, he's meant to be friends with Itami, and Itami's just assaulted him.
GTS.
And now he's got him up.
Pow! Right in the kisser.
Some friend.
But Ono refuses to go down from the first GTS. Itami loads him up for a second run. Boom! Good night, Ono.
Oh no, Itami there, the killer. The killer, the friendship killer. I don't know what to say. He's just
Well, Cassius Ono won that belt, but does he look like a winner, James?
he
Does he?
He doesn't. Itami has knocked out. Sorry, I should say. Itami sends Ono to sleep twice, and
he looks to walk out of there, but turns round. Ring bellman's still going crazy.
Oh no, not on the outside.
A GTS onto the stairs. And do you think Itami's turning himself into the next heel to challenge the next face NXT champion?
It certainly looks that way. He's going to have... That's a serious attitude adjustment by Itami.
No, AA is a move that John Cena does. That's the GTS.
Honestly, Itami has left Ono a mess here. I'm shocked by this. Two friends now, surely...
Don't call me Shirley.
Bitter enemies as we try and move on after that to episode... I mean, I'm shocked, Dan. What did you think of the match?
Yeah, it was shaping up to be quite a very good match between the two of them. It seems like they're going to have a bout at maybe an upcoming pay-per-view that NXT's going to offer.
Well, can Ono recover in 2 weeks for NXT Takeover against Itami? I mean, that would be the question. But you're definitely right. After that, there's serious retribution to be had. I thought the match was quite good, quite hard-hitting. Itami showing his aggressive side, as he always does. And I think this is the best Itami that there can be in NXT. You agree with that?
Yeah, most definitely. And, aside from Eric Young, who's making little to no impact on the roster, who else have you got to be a big heel?
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? You need your next big baddie. Ciampa, I think, definitely could do that when he returns. Itami works well. Of course, you've got Bobby Roode. But
when, Ciampa does return, I think he's going to have a bit of a feud with Gargano to sort out first.
I think that might be over the NXT title. We'll see if Gargano can go forward as a babyface character against Bobby Roode, maybe the underdog, getting the job done. Ciampa returns. There you go. You got a feud, haven't you? So the thing about NXT, there's so many possibilities. But we do move on to our third episode of NXT, episode 404, Wednesday, the 2nd of August, and we've just talked about him. Tonight, episode features the in-ring returns of Aleister Black and Johnny Gargano. And we also get to hear Bobby Roode's rebuttal to Drew McIntyre. I can't wait. Dan, how do we start?
We start with Mauro Ranallo and the gang welcoming us to the show, and Johnny Gargano immediately makes his entrance. He hits the ramp to DIY's theme, but then kicks off his brand new theme to a nice pop.
It's his own man now, and it's good to see him back, Nigel.
It is very good for him to be back in an NXT ring, James. He has certainly been missed from the roster.
So,
fucking performing monkey.
I didn't think you were going to do that. Gargano's out here, and like I say, he's his own man now. Is it good to see Johnny Gargano back?
Yes, it's going to be interesting to see Johnny wrestling.
Yeah, it is. So I'm looking forward to it. A great worker. A DIY was one of our favourite teams, I shall dare to say, the past couple of years. And he is going to go up against Raul Mendoza.
Yes, and we may remember Mendoza from the loss of his first round match against D. Brian Kendrick during the Cruiserweight Classic. But he's impressed the WWE officials and has been working NXT live events.
Yeah. And this will be a showcase for both men, it appears. Well, here comes Mendoza.
The bulldozer.
He has got a serious look in his face. Going to go against Johnny Gargano.
Gargano.
Well, Gargano might have some ring rust, going against Mendoza, who has been a regular in the NXT House Show circuit, like you've just said to me, Dan. Coming back from that betrayal by Ciampa. I mean, we've just seen happen to Ono and Itami last month. It happened to these guys at the last takeover. Look how long it took Johnny to recover. Can Johnny go here tonight, Dan?
We will soon see.
Both men lock up. The match has indeed started. And Gargano's got the arm now.
Oh, but Mendoza out of that exchange. Oh, but Gargano's match, he certainly is Johnny Wrestling, and he's going move to move with Raul Mendoza.
Oh, that is a lovely technical wrestling there. Mendoza trying to fight out of it. But Gargano, though, going for pin attempt.
Headlock takedown. And Gargano starting off in full control against Mendoza. Not showing any signs of ring rust as of yet.
Not at the moment. The match progresses. Is that the same referee? And Gargano's got...
What's the dancing ref? I ain't seen him for a while.
Oh, Mendoza gets pushed down, but look at that. Nips right back up again. Lovely double leapfrogs there by both men.
Gargano with a roll up. Gets reversed by Mendoza. Both men getting a 1 count.
One. Oh, my word.
It's a very fast-paced match to start off with.
Oh, but that might be it there. Gargano just connected. Big kick to Raul's head. Johnny seems in a good place. He seems happier, doesn't he? Now he's back. Maybe he can become successful in his own right. Try and put the horrible past behind him. And he can do that by working on the arm of Mendoza.
Rolls Mendoza over, but Mendoza uses his own momentum. Comes back with a big elbow to Gargano's face. Oh, both men running the ropes. Oh, and a step up Inseguri straight across the beak for Mendoza. Rolls up Gargano.
Oh.
But Gargano managing to kick out. Gargano.
The tilt-a-whirl attempt in the middle of that as well. But both of these guys really impressing here. It's a showcase, I think, for both men in this match to show everybody what they can do. I mean, maybe most people think Johnny Gargano is only a tag team wrestler. People think, might not know the success he had on the independent scene.
Indeed, yes, but would both men benefit a run in 205 Live? I mean, they both seem the size of a cruiserweight wrestler.
I would love to see Johnny Gargano in 205 Live, but maybe that means NXT, WWE have got bigger plans for him in the future. Oh my God. Gargano going to Irish Whip Mendoza in the corner.
Through the second and top rope, Gargano hitting nothing but the top turnbuckle, ending up on the outside of the ring, but slingshots himself straight into the midsection of Mendoza. And both men getting a well-deserved clap from the audience.
Yeah, and I would say already that I think we've seen better NXT matches than we have 205 this month. I think
definitely,
they've really delivered at the moment. Mendoza's struggling to get to his feet. What's Gargano got planned?
Oh, big right hand there, knocks down Mendoza, followed by a second. Lovely close on there from Johnny Wrestling.
I looked like he was going to throw him in a turnbuckle. He dodged, then hit the clothesline right back at him. Mendoza in the corner now.
Oh, comes in with a big right hand. Close on attempt, blocked by Mendoza, who steps it to a lovely Pele type kick.
And now maybe it's his opportunity to upset Gargano. He looks to go up top.
Oh, he's taking his sweet ass time about it though. Looking for a 450 attempt, but Johnny sidesteps it. Johnny Gargano wins via submission.
Oh my God, he's got him caught. Deadly looking submission hold. And Gargano pressing on his return to NXT. Dan, what did you think of the match?
Brilliant match. Yeah, very fast paced. Very fast paced. I enjoyed it thoroughly. And I wish more matches were like this.
Yes, it was beautiful, wasn't it? It's kind of mixture between the 205 stuff we like and the NXT stuff that we love as well, So it's a good mishmash of everything there.
We take a look back at teams from last week between Santity and Authors of Pain, and it is announced that Wolf and Dane will take on Akam and Razar for the NXT Championships at NXT Takeover Brooklyn 3. Then we go to a video of Paul Ellering saying they'll write another chapter of pain and that they'll be preparing in the meantime. Ellering lets Sanity know that monsters are real.
It's going to be a really interesting matchup, isn't it? Because they're both heels, both going into it. Go on.
Another one of my teams Authors of Pain, isn't it?
Yeah, see, exactly, yeah. That's what I said, Authors of Pain. You always like them.
You didn't say that. I said that.
Oh, shut up.
Trying to take credit for everything I fucking
Anyway, as I was saying, it'll be a really interesting matchup because they're both heels, aren't they, going into it? And we'll see what the reaction is from the crowd, who they start to like. Because it might be dangerous. The Authors of Pain might start becoming popular because they're so dominant,
Yeah.
Anyway, move on. Speaking of dominant, NXT Women's Champion Asuka comes out in formal attire to address the crowd and Ember Moon's comments.
She says she's beaten Ember Moon before and will beat her again. Asuka says Ember isn't ready for her And then Moon's music hits.
Well, James, we didn't expect Ember Moon to make an appearance here. We just thought it was Asuka addressing Ember's comments.
Well, yes, Ember Moon has come out here to get in the face of the women's champion, the undefeated one, Asuka. No one can say that. Is that a nipple?
I thought the same thing.
Sorry, did I say that out loud then?
I don't think it is. It's a bit low for a nip-nip.
I know, but still. So, let's see what they have to say. Well, Moon says since her injury, she's been fighting her hardest to get belongs. Although Asuka may not think she's ready, she knows she is, and the people know she is. Moon says that deep down, inside, below all the arrogance, Asuka knows the truth. Oh, both of these women face to face is what we've been waiting for. Oh, is that nice of Asuka going off the hand? And that's a sign of respect there, I think Asuka's gained for Ember Moon. Go on, Ember, shake it. Underhand. A disrespect there, Asuka.
He turns it into a slap. Asuka looking very pleased with herself, but that's just pissed off Ember and lit a fire.
Oh my god, here comes Ember. Oh!
She responds with a big right hand.
And now she's beating the crap out of Asuka. Oh my word. Oh no, here comes Asuka. Fucking hell, look at the strikes.
Fighting back with some forearms and a big kick to the head.
She's in a suit.
Oh, that's going to stop her.
And now Asuka's going to send Ember Moon outside.
Oh.
Look at that. Couple of rounds saying that's done.
Yep, she's disposed of the trash.
And look at that beautiful Asuka holding up the NXT title. It's what it's all about.
Boom! And Ember Moon plants Asuka with the Eclipse.
3 NXTs, 3 Eclipses. My God, that was the biggest of them all, though.
Asuka sold it perfectly.
She did. NXT title in hand. Talk about a Rock Austin moment. I think that was pretty close to it.
Well, you know, with the stunners and eclipses, you know.
Face to face, the two women. They're gonna fight NXT Takeover, and is it Ember Moon's time?
They're not going to fight. It is going to be a fucking war.
Oh my word! Do you think we should say it now? Do you think it should be the main event of Takeover?
Yes.
I disagree with you, but we'll talk about that. I tell you what I would argue about, I think we'll do it more on a live show, is depending on who the winners are.
Well, would you
Do you know what I
say
mean?
that this rivalry is more personal and more meaningful than Drew McIntyre and Bobby Roode?
Yeah, I think it means, if this is the main event, I think Bobby Roode retains.
This means a lot more to the fans and to NXT.
If Asuka loses, it would mean more than anything. I think it could overshadow it. A McIntyre title win will be overshadowed by an Asuka loss. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's not going to happen. Like one or the other.
Well, it's
will
only
happen.
going to be
one or the other.
Either.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I would say that now because that's what I think. So what will happen? It is all down to who's, you know. It's an incredible thing between Mario and Arlo, Percy Jackson, Watson, and Nigel McGuinness on commentary.
Percy Jackson, the Lightning Thief.
Yeah. But after that, we tried. Well, what better way than Bobby Roode backstage prepping for an interview? The reporter asked Bobby, "Oh, look at him! Look at him! He's gorgeous. We've had no glorious entrance this month, but my God, what a man!"
Because he hasn't fucking wrestled.
Well,
he doesn't fucking wrestle.
The reporter asked Bobby about his actions after his win against Roderick Strong. Roode uses the lottery analogy again, but Strong didn't have the right numbers. Roode says Strong doesn't belong NXT. I can't have you got to do the next bit because I don't want him talking bad about McIntyre.
When asked about McIntyre's comments from last week, Roode says Drew commented that he's a new man. Roode gives us a little scoop that the new man and Roode have a little sit-down conversation next week on NXT.
Talk about a face-off. Bobby Roode and Drew McIntyre.
Roderick Strong crashes the ending of the interview and is held back by several superstars. Mr. Regal comes out and says this isn't the way to go about things and to remain professional. Roderick says he'll do anything to get Bobby Roode back in the ring, but Regal says his hands are tied and will remain a singles match at Brooklyn.
So Roderick Strong wants to be a part of it. Do you think it should be a triple threat match?
No.
No, I think if it becomes, like I say, don't dilute it unless it's not going to be McIntyre's moment. You know, I honestly don't know what could happen. But we see the Street Profits yet again, who debut next week. Dan?
Saying that, if Roderick Strong does get added to the match, then Bobby Roode could beat Strong, thus ending that feud. Yeah. Setting it up for
November.
Yeah. And your prediction coming false.
Yeah.
But you don't get any points for that.
No, I don't get any points, but still, what timing.
And up next, in ring action, Sonya Deville versus Jenna Van Bemmel. Van Bemmel, apparently known as the Bionic Beast, is the much larger opponent, but Deville has the quickness advantage. Deville tying with Van Bemmel by ducking strikes with her hands behind her back. Van Bemmel scoots under the ropes and drapes Deville over the top rope. She doesn't take kindly to it and proceeds to use a series of Muay Thai moves. Van Bemmel blocks a corner attack with an elbow and tosses a smaller Deville away. Deville jumps up to an arm triangle out of nowhere and Van Bemmel taps.
Well, backstage with Caleb Braxton and Hideo Itami, and the Japanese star said he doesn't get respect from Ono or others, so why show it to them? He heads to the ring and demands respect. Instead, he gets Aleister Black, whose match is up next, and we've seen Aleister Black coming in, and Itami stayed in the ring. Dan, do you think that's a good idea for him?
No, Itami's going to get put to sleep.
Itami wants respect, and he's going to put anybody down. He's seen what he'd done to Cassius Ono last week, and Aleister Black has got a match coming up, but Itami has not moved yet. And this could get interesting. We've never seen Aleister Black interacting with anybody like this before. And Itami's not backing down. Credit to him. Oh!
A Black mass kick, and Black just sits down where he wants.
He does sit where he wants. He's getting more and more impressive as I see him, Dan. You're number one man.
And he put Itami just like that.
As we go to the operator at the time, we want to respect. He gets caught with a black mask. But we have got a match coming up next. And, it's the debut.
It's his first match in an NXT ring, James.
It's Kyle O'Reilly. Well, Dan, his Red Dragon partner showed up a couple of weeks ago when we told you Bobby Fish, other half was en route. On the August 2nd episode of NXT, Kyle O'Reilly showed up and was unveiled as a new member of the Black and Yellow Brands roster.
The former Ring of Honor World Champion's first opponent was the same man, fish-faced, Aleister Black. That booking was explained a bit more tonight as the announced team said wrestlers from around the world are petitioning general managers William Regal for a shot at the undefeated Dutchman.
So, tag team partner with Fish. Are you happy to see Kyle O'Reilly in here now, Dan?
I'd rather see Bobby Fish.
Yeah. I thought I'd had information about him.
Well, he's best known for his time in Ring of Honor. He also worked for New Japan Pro Wrestling and competed for several independent promotions, most notably Pro Wrestling Guerrera. O'Reilly is a former 3-time Ring of Honor World Champion, 3-time Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champion, alongside Bobby Fish as Red Dragon. While in PWG, he is a former 1-time World Champion and the winner of the promotion's 2013 Battle of Los Angeles.
Oh, thanks. I know a lot more now about Kyle O'Reilly. I'm glad he tags up with Fish. But Fish was unsuccessful against Aleister Black. Can Kyle O'Reilly do any better? And look at the striking as well. Like we talk about, it's the same types of like MMA hard-hitting style now, isn't it? You know?
It is, yes.
Do you still back your man Black in this one?
I'm always going to bet on Black, James.
Black's got him in the front face hold. But like you say, lots of people want to beat the Dutchman. Can Kyle O'Reilly get... Oh, and Aleister Black maybe trying to get the armbar in, but Kyle O'Reilly looks to turn it into a triangle.
Oh, but Aleister Black there just muscles out of it.
Oh, stop fucking falling over your favourite wrestlers. It makes me sick. Something I never do.
Well, James, I believe that Aleister Black can go on and win the NXT Championship. Bobby Roode or Drew McIntyre, whichever man who holds it.
Well, we shall see, Dan. At the moment, Aleister Black's got a lot. He's got more things on his mind, you know. He just knocked out Itami, and now he's trying to beat up Kyle O'Reilly. He's upset Bobby Fish. So, you know, Aleister Black, I know he sits where he wants, but he's got to fight to prove he belongs in NXT.
Well, James, he's going to sit at the top of that tree as NXT champion. Mark my words. Mark my words.
We shall see, Dan. As now Black's trying to fight the arm breaker off.
Oh, lovely reversal there. I do like his tattoo on his back, though.
He's a big man as well. Deceptively, he's big, isn't he?
He's deceptively big, yes.
Yeah.
Deceptively big.
As O'Reilly catches him with the forearm, Black seems to like it. Oh!
O'Reilly goes high, Black goes low, and he sweeps the leg of O'Reilly and just sits in the middle of the ring.
Oh, my. And now O'Reilly backed up. He knows the fight he's got now.
There's no way to attack Black when he's sitting down. And he just ducks the kick attempt and just nips his way back to his feet. He's a man of few words, isn't he?
He is.
Mr. Black.
But like you said to me when I asked you, does it matter that he's a promo guy or not? What did you say in response?
No, because he lets his talking show. He does his talking in the ring.
Exactly. So he's a man of action, and he doesn't need a lot of words. But I do think he needs to work on it a little bit. But he, as an athlete, I can't argue.
So when Brock Lesnar leaves, Paul Heyman's gonna need a guy.
Nah, you don't think, do you?
He done well with CM Punk.
He did. That would be quite good, actually. Yeah.
Even though CM Punk was a good talker of his own right, but O'Reilly runs in towards him, but Black jumps over the top, delivers a big kick to the chest, goes for the cover, but only a 2 count.
We come in from after the break. Well, not we come in. They were back after the break there, and it looks like Black has been in control duration of it as he sends O'Reilly into the corner. Now he's going to work with those kicks.
When's this going up? The week before SummerSlam.
Week before SummerSlam.
So don't forget to join us next week where we go live for NXT Takeover Brooklyn Freeze kickoff show and SummerSlam kickoff show as well. And that's going to be a 2-hour. We're only going to be covering an hour of it live.
Yes. Well, I mean, depending on how successful it is. I mean, if we fancy going on 90 minutes or something like that, we will do SummerSlam. We're flexible, you know. We start midnight on Saturday and then 11 o'clock on the Sunday. It's going to be huge. I mean, what are you looking forward to more? NXT Takeover, Brooklyn Free, or SummerSlam at the moment, Dan?
I think SummerSlam, to be honest with you.
Oh, very
really
interesting. What we'll do, we'll have a preview on both cars at the end of this episode, seeing as it is a week before, and building it up. And then, of course, SummerSlam weekend, we have got... Oh, we'll talk about that in a bit. As Kyle O'Reilly now backs Black into the corner of the forearm. Now he's got the arm. Oh, and this might be the most trouble we've seen Alistair Black in NXT.
And Black trying to get out of the leg lock. Brutal kicks there to O'Reilly. Finally gets him to relinquish the hold. But has the damage been done already? Can he hit that Black mass kick
well, we
with
don't
an
know
injured leg?
Sorry if this is right, but we don't know how much damage that Black can take. You know, he's been impressive recently, but we've not seen anybody really take it to him as Kyle O'Reilly seems to be doing now. I mean, even Vish didn't really do that much.
No, O'Reilly certainly put up more of a fight than Vish.
Yeah, but then again, Kyle O'Reilly, a former Ring of Honor champion, you know, working in the Japan with a strong style, maybe shouldn't be underestimated because of the MMA style that Black's got. I mean, they've kind of equal to each other at this moment in time, you would say, you know?
Yeah. Even though Black's on the mat, he's still trying to fight out, and O'Reilly with a pinning attempt, but it only went to a 1.
Where we see it's all about top position here. O'Reilly trying to keep his back in it. He's in side control, if we're talking MMA at the moment, trying to get in position for the arm.
Oh, gets the cross arm breaker, but Alistair Black there loops his hands together so he can't get the move on fully.
So if the hands become released, the submission will be in full and Black will have no choice. This shoulder will be separated, but luckily for him, or meant to
Black with the roll up, goes for a cover, but O'Reilly managing to kick out. But delivers a thunderous elbow there, and he's starting to put Black through his paces.
He is, and now he's got his back as well, trying to get the legs in, and now working on those strikes, and Black trying to cover, but not a lot to work with.
No, not at all. But is Black just giving O'Reilly a run for his money? You know, the officials at back said, "Look, come on, mate, you got to make it last a bit longer than 2 minutes."
Well, yeah, it's a bit like a sparring session. Well, at the moment, though, it looks like Black is in a match here, and like I say, exchanging kicks. O'Reilly not really backing down. Got the arm again of Alistair Black.
O'Reilly's giving as good as he's getting.
Oh, and that shoulder and arm has been what O'Reilly's been targeting now. And look at the knees to the midsection.
Oh, and a running knee from O'Reilly. He's an ugly cunt. Isn't he?
That's what I was just thinking. I was like, he really is. As we go to another ad break, and Kyle O'Reilly is in complete control. And Kyle O'Reilly, with the shoulders and the forearms to Aleister Black. And Black, honestly, he's in serious trouble here.
Do you just not think he's absorbing the punishment?
Do you think he's like the Iron Fist, the more...
He's just conditioning himself. He's letting O'Reilly have... He could pin him now if he wanted to. But he's just letting O'Reilly in. He's conditioning himself to get hit when he faces a serious opponent.
I don't know. Kyle O'Reilly looks a very serious opponent, but Aleister Black now turning up the heat.
Snap suplex there, and then just runs and drops the knee straight across O'Reilly's throat.
Well, he's going for the pin. You see the forearm across the bridge of the nose. That's more irritant than it is anything else. Can't get him down, though. Kick out.
But when, O'Reilly's breathing heavily, he needs every way of getting oxygen into his system. And if his nose and mouth is slightly blocked up, it's going to be harder for him to breathe and recover.
Yeah, but now he takes his chance, goes on the apron, try and buy himself a little bit of time, hangs Aleister Black up there with the arm that has been worked on throughout the majority of the match.
Got in a bit of an armbar there. Going for a Kimura type lock.
But I don't think at the moment in time these are the kind of moves you want to do on Aleister Black. I think if you really want to hurt him, put him down, you've got big, hard-hitting moves. You're going to go for a submission, literally try and break the arm off. You don't want to, like you're saying, don't give Black time to get his breath back, get back into the match. It needs to be kind of constant, doesn't it? Those knees, what a perfect thing to do. Just keep hitting the knees, get in position there.
Just keep hitting the Tony.
Make sure you don't get in trouble. I mean, Aleister Black, we've seen him before, but never have we seen him in so much trouble. What a debut it is at the moment for Kyle O'Reilly. Can he put Aleister Black away? Well, Aleister Black gets caught with a big boot, but he's responding.
Someone said to Aleister Black, finish him.
Yeah.
Aleister Black there with a few kicks. Oh, a lovely springboard moonsault.
Oh, but O'Reilly man.
And
what's Black calling for now? Is this going to be the end of Kyle O'Reilly?
Lifting him up with his foot. Oh, but O'Reilly grabs hold of the foot and tries to deliver an ankle lock.
Brilliant by O'Reilly. Knew how to block it.
A couple of elbow smashes across his head. Stops him. Goes for a right forearm smash. Gets blocked with a foot by Black. But as Black goes for another springboard, he gets his legs taken out from underneath him.
And now O'Reilly looking to finish things with a kick of his own. Oh!
Stomp to the back of the head and a spinning elbow there. Takes Black down, but he manages to kick out.
I can't believe Aleister Black just got the shoulder up then. Looked like O'Reilly had him done. Dead to rights, as they say. Impressive there. Oh, fair play to him. He's impressed me more than Fish.
Most definitely a better athlete than Fish, even though he's an ugly fucker.
He is an ugly cunt, as he's trying to put Aleister Black away. But Black blocking that Black. Then O'Reilly now just trying to get him in a kind of...
face lock.
Yeah, trying to put him to sleep. And Black is fading fast.
Fade to Black.
But O'Reilly lets go, maybe too soon, or thinking he can put Aleister Black away. Here he goes again with a kick.
Oh, but Black moves out the way. Big boot to the face.
Oh,
but O'Reilly responds with one of his own. And then a double big boot, rocking both men. Now they go back to back.
Oh my word, O'Reilly with the kicks, the chops. Oh, fuck.
Oh, but Black responds with elbows and a knee.
Oh, no. Oh.
And then O'Reilly with a big knee to the jaw.
And now it's going to be another foot stomp. Another forearm. Oh.
Black mass kick just like that. 2, 3.
Oh.
And good night, O'Reilly. Fair play to him. He gave nearly as good as he got, but... you just don't get up from a black mass kick.
No, I mean, what an incredible match. We talk about, again, the new hard-hitting style delivered by Aleister Black. And fair play, Kyle O'Reilly. First match, son, you keep performing like that, you're going to have a place on the roster, aren't you? But Aleister Black, every week, his toughest challenge, he's come through with flying colours, and he's knocked 2 men out tonight with a black mass kick. How happy are you, Dan?
I'm over the bloody moon. Glad he won. He thoroughly deserved the victory. And, a good performance by both men.
So that is it for this week's episode. We'll move on. Before we do, we should say that afterwards, Kyle O'Reilly spoke to Chrissy St. Cloud. He says, where do we go? Where do he and Fish go from here? NXT could use an infusion of tag teams, but O'Reilly sounds like he has plans to go it alone in this interview. He may not have a choice if he wants to quickly get screen time in an increasingly crowded and experienced roster out of the Performance Centre, however. Would you rather see O'Reilly teaming up with Fish or him as a singles, Dan?
Well, by the looks of the past two, by the past couple of performances against Black, O'Reilly will be carrying Fish along.
Yeah.
But again, I'll still stick to my words, and Fish is the best Bobby in NXT.
Oh, well, we end that one on controversial fashion. And we start the next episode of NXT. So we move on. It's the last episode of NXT and what has been a busy network roundup this month for August, as it is now. How did we start off?
Well, Sanity's Nikki Cross kicked off the show, screaming as she is prone to do, before Alexander Wolf and Killian Dane joined her in the ring. The unstable faction called out the NXT Tag Team Champions, the Authors of Pain.
And of course, in commentary, we've got Percy Jackson, Mario Ranallo, and Nigel McGuinness. Oh, Percy Watson. Sorry, I always get confused between the two.
Bubba Watson.
Yeah, it's nice to see Mario Ranallo here. I won't make you do the Nigel McGuinness.
Well, thank you, James. It's getting rather stale now.
Yes.
I don't like doing it.
No, but later on, face to face, it is the chosen one, Drew McIntyre, and the glorious one, Bobby Roode. First time ever in a ring. But at the moment, Nikki Cross and Sanity. Well, Dan, this is the second time recent memory for me that the Authors of Pain have been called out by Sanity. Will they come out here tonight?
And they are, and they are being led by the one and only legend, Paul Ellering.
Who are you going to back in the fight? Nikki Cross, Paul Ellering.
Oh.
As we see Nikki Cross waving.
Nikki Cross.
Yeah, I got back her. But Carmen Razor coming out here, of course. Carmen's the one with the tattoo. Oh, wait a minute. And it's Eric Young who's attacked one of the Authors, attacked Razor from behind.
Well, Dane and Wolf are working over Razor in the ring. Oh, he's got a cable tie. And he's cable tying Akam's arm to the
I think that's right.
Razor's arm to the barricade, while the other members of Sanity work him over.
Oh, what a great idea! What a great idea! Separating the Authors of Pain, and now that's sort of calm and all sorts of trouble. It's the whole Sanity in the ring, and Eric Young booting his head off. My God! And Paul Ellering can't do anything ringside.
So does this mean the AOP are the faces in this bout?
Well, it looks like that way at the moment. I mean, this is a 4-on-1 advantage as Killian Dane just squashes Calm 3 times there. Razor can't do anything. And yeah, you would say, Authors of Pain, the baby faces, and look at that!
Wow, and he's just completely destroying the guardrail and dragging it towards the ring, trying to get his hands on Eric Young and the other members of Sanity.
Razor, yeah, trying to bring it with him, but look at this.
But a one-armed man won't be able to get too far.
Oh, look at Wolf's kicks. All the Sanity raining down.
But he is attached to a weapon.
He is. He's at that security barricade. But I don't think that worries Killian Dane. Oh!
Well, Dane, he just stood on him and then delivered a senton. And that is some weight to be having on you.
Uh-oh, now they're picking it. Not finished with Razor. Eric Young going up. Second rope. Oh!
A neck breaker there with Wolf picking up Razor.
But Sanity there just destroying the Authors of Pain. I've never seen anything like it. It was a plan they had, and it worked perfectly, Dan, didn't it?
They did, yeah. They executed it to perfection. Is this NXT finally taking Sanity seriously?
Well, this is something that you've wanted for a very long time with Sanity. A common goal, and I think now they want to be tag team champions. Nikki Cross bringing the championship belts.
And my year-end prediction is true.
Well, Killian Dane and Alexander Wolf holding the titles. Eric Young orchestrated this plan. Nikki Cross, I mean, unbelievable here, Dan. I mean, for the first time in their NXT careers, the Authors of Pain were made to look weak by the opposition. Every bit as dangerous as them. How will Akam and Razor respond to this, Dan?
I'm sure they'll have a few words or a few actions to respond to Sanity. Take this lying down.
Yeah, but
they currently are.
But can they beat Sanity as they have DIY and the Revival before them? At the moment, no one has dominated the Authors of Pain like Sanity here. I mean, Dan, you got to say this is a compelling story to be told in Brooklyn for Takeover, isn't it? Really?
It is, yeah, and it's brilliant to lead up to it as well. Well, next up we have the Street Profits versus the Metro Brothers. We've seen the vignettes now, and it's about time for the debut of the Street Profits. But who are they?
Wait a minute, we're just seeing a replay from last week's Asuka Ember Moon when this happened.
Yeah, it did.
And the clips to Asuka, will it happen at Takeover, Dan? That is a question, and you can answer it for me on the live show. NXT Takeover, has Ember Moon got a chance, or is it over? I mean, a contract signing next week between these two, which we will bring you live on our NXT Kickoff. I wonder if any shenanigans will go down there. So yes, Dan, you're talking about Street Profits. We've seen a lot of them, but who are they? Well, Angelo Dawkins, he's a wrestler with Harper College. Gary Gordon, that's his real name, he joined the WWE in 2012, signing on to their developmental system. He debuted on NXT television in 2013 as Angelo Dawkins, so he's been doing this now for 4 years. And he was soon paired with Sawyer Fulton in a tag team that had marginal success at the bottom of the tag division against Enzo, Big Cass, the Four Billions, Blake Murphy, and the Hype Bros. Remember all them teams?
And they was at the bottom of it.
Yeah.
When Fulton was originally moved to Santity before he was injured and replaced by Killian Dane.
Remember that?
Dawkins was repackaged and placed with Montez Ford, where the two have been working as a team on NXT live events for just over 7 months. They've recently been named the Street Profits, which they'll be debuting under soon. He was last seen on NXT TV back in September of 2016 in a lost to the Perfect 10 Ty Dillinger.
Yeah, so he's not been around for a long time, but you mentioned Montez Ford. Who's Montez Ford? Well, I'll tell you, he's a former US Marine. He joined the WWE Performance Center in the spring of 2015 and impressed enough at trial to get signed to a developmental deal. Chicago's Kenneth Crawford made his NXT debut name in the fall of that year. He spent the better part of the next year teaming with another new recruit, Patrick Clark, at NXT live events. By the end of 2016, he switched to pairing with Angelo Dawkins, spending the last year working against the likes of the Revival, DIY, Santity, Heavy Machinery, and the NXT champions, the Authors of Pain at NXT live events.
They may not have been on television, but they got some serious training with some great tag teams. As 2017 rolled around, Crawford was finally given his NXT name, Montez Ford. After months of preparation for their new gimmick, it looks like the Street Profits are ready to become active members of the televised tag team division. Ford has had a couple of enhancement matches on TV, last seen on television back in August of 2016 in a loss to Steve Cutler. Ford is currently engaged to NXT superstar and Mae Young Classic competitor Bianca Belair.
So we're going to tell you, we told you that the Street Profits, we said we're going to talk about them, and we have done. And will the Street Profits be the gimmick that helps Angelo Dawkins turn the corner to NXT stardom? The amateur wrestler has been around since the brand's early days and tried several versions of his characters. His partnership with Montez Ford has been a hit on the house show scene, and management has given the pair weeks of vignettes to hype their social media inspired Red Cup Rebellion. They will see what they'll see their first televised action on this episode, and we're going to find out now, Dan, all together. And as I say that, we look at the Street Profits. Is that Snapchat there, Dan? Snapchat, Dan, you'll follow him. You can confirm that.
I can confirm and not deny that I am following Street Profits.
So let's watch. Sorry to interrupt you. Let's watch their entrance.
An entrance.
They
just stood in the ring.
You know, fair play to Chris and fair play to JC. Who's that tag team, Dan? Look like these. Juice and Domino. Remember them?
Yeah.
With the manager, you had the manager had the fucking roller skates.
Trained by the Dudleys.
Well, you got to give them a chance, haven't you? You know, look like a couple of greasers from the
Well,
outside.
they look like a couple of greasers from the outsiders, James.
Well, let's see if the Street Profits are any different and the more up to date. Here they come in the black and gold. Angelo Dawkins with a distinct headband. And, of course, Montez Ford in the back. Coming out here to quite a good reaction, Dan.
Not impressed. Oh, look, he's fucking dabbing.
No, Dan.
Fuck off.
Dan, give him the match first. Don't go against him. We've got to give everybody a chance. Well, how will they wrestle, though? This is the important thing. I wonder what's in that cup. It's not performance-enhancing drugs, is it?
Jizz.
So Angelo Dawkins taking out one of the Metro brothers.
Yeah, I'm not going to even try and work out what their names are. I don't think it matters because look at Dawkins springing over the top. Deep arm drag as well. And now slamming him down. He's going to give Ford a tag in. Oh!
Flips his way into the ring.
Oh!
That's a bit of tandem offense there.
Yeah, I mean, Ford's got a leap on him, hasn't he? Nice drop kick, slam combo. And there you go, handshake. And now Ford's going to... Oh, no, Metro Brother reverses.
Oh, but Ford there flips over the top and has a little dance. Ducks a clothesline and a back suplex there. Nips up to his feet.
And Ford looks like he's having a fit as he tries to take down the Metro Brothers.
A Metro brother.
A Metro Brother. Oh, my God, look at this. Metro Brothers put Ford in the corner, beating him down. And this might be a major upset.
And now look, one of the Metro brothers there mocking the Street Profits.
Yeah, Montel's Ford managed to dodge out the way of that, though. Can he get the tag?
Lands on his feet and then flies across the ring for a tag. I don't see the point in diving, but he done it anyway.
Well, he dived to Dawkins and now Angelo's in. Oh, big back
Angelo
elbow.
seems like the type you want to get the hot tag to.
Yeah, wow, look at that. Big spear as well. And Alistair in the pot. Oh.
Spinning splash. Did he get a tag there?
He did. Oh, and D'Lo Brown would be pleased with that. Sky high, the frog splash. Ford and Dawkins get the victory. Street Profits have arrived. Dan, what are your thoughts?
You know, they seem quite entertaining, but I don't know. There might be a stripped down version of the New Day. Not in a racial thingy, but they're coming in, dancing, making up silly handshakes, playing up to the cameras. They certainly got a pair of personalities on them, and I'd like to see them against a bit more of a challenge than local competitors. But to come in and make your debut, they didn't do too bad.
No, I think it's worth the hype. Like we said,
Hype bros.
Like we said, WWE, yeah, fair enough. But NXT, there is no tag team like this at the moment, and it's good to have differences, isn't it? Yeah, we've got Authors of Pain, Santity, Heavy Machinery, big teams, and now this is something a little bit different that we haven't had in a little while, and it's always good to see good teams. Metro Brothers, I think, need to come up with maybe either a new gimmick or a bit more of a personality, but this was all about the Street Profits.
Well, yeah, Dawkins and Ford demonstrated their athleticism early in the short squash match. The latter overcome a bit of offence by Chris and CJ and made the hot tag to Dawkins. The newcomers scored a win moments later, kicking off their NXT run in impressive and successful fashion.
Yeah, this was a showcase, like we said, for the Street Profits. For the most part, they passed the proverbial test. Yes, the comeback late needed to be a little bit more furious, but there is charisma and a team that makes them entertaining to watch. So, up next, Dan. First time ever. Drew McIntyre, Bobby Roode. We are a week away as we release this to NXT Takeover.
Current title holder Bobby Roode shared the square circle with the number one contender, Drew McIntyre.
Well, McIntyre's come out. Let's hear Bobby Roode's glorious entrance. I mean, I get one a month, and I'm lucky they're going to have two in the space of a week.
Glorious. No, I won't give in till I'm victorious. And I will defend. Glorious. No, I won't give in till I'm victorious. And I will defend, and I'll do what I must. No, I won't give in, oh so glorious. Until the end.
Well, here we go. The man with all the style and grace of a champion. The man who's had NXT on his back for this year, made it the most successful brand in the wrestling world. He is Dan, Mr. NXT, the undefeated, undisputed NXT champion. It is the glorious one, Bobby Roode. and he's coming out here to face his challenge ever in Drew McIntyre. This is going to be a meeting for the ages. Bobby Roode is the man, and as he shows the title to Drew McIntyre, my God. Well, look how many security guards brought out, though. Like you said, Dan, as cocky and arrogant as ever, Roode admitted entitlement and said he does not need a second chance like his opponent. He fuck you, do that bit.
He reiterated that NXT is his and his alone.
You're damn right about that, Dan.
And McIntyre responded, vowing to win the title as any good babyface in this scenario would.
You're damn right about that, Dan.
Roderick Strong's music played.
You're damn right about that, Dan. Sorry, go on.
For fuck's sake. And he implored General Manager William Regal to give him a match with Roode, not for the title, but for the honour of his family.
But why is Roderick Strong interrupting the greatest contract signing or the greatest coming together in WWE history? Why is he getting involved for? Anyway, go on.
Roode agreed to give Strong a match, but he'd have to go through McIntyre first. Finally, it was decided that if Strong can beat McIntyre next week, he will get a shot at Roode after the pay-per-view, but the title match at Takeover remains the same either way.
Well, what a shit way this feud is playing out. Rather than having all of it about Drew McIntyre and Bobby Roode, Roderick Strong has to get involved and fucking ruin it.
Well, it's probably because Bobby Roode doesn't wrestle.
Yeah, well, they're going about it all wrong. I don't care.
Well, it's interesting to see how this feud is playing out. It's almost as if Strong got far more over than management expected, and plans were altered at some point because there has been a distant lack of emphasis as a main event of Takeover.
Yeah, he's not perceived, even though he said he's going to win it. If the Roderick Strong storyline's going on, and McIntyre's, he's an afterthought. And McIntyre should, we talk about Bobby Roode being the face, Drew McIntyre should be the face of NXT. He is the biggest star on NXT at this moment in time. Name value as well. Everybody knows Drew McIntyre from his past, and to be treated as at the biggest event of NXT at the Brooklyn show, he's an afterthought, and he has to go through Roderick Strong next week.
Well, the emotion of Strong's journey back to the title is more intriguing than McIntyre's second chance, and that appears to have manifested itself in the booking. Strong winning next week feels like a given, if only because another high-profile loss would hurt his heat irreparably.
So then McIntyre would go into TakeOver on a defeat to Roderick Strong going against Roode. It's just, I don't know. It's madness. I don't know. When the match was first announced, I didn't know which way it was going to go. I still don't know which way it's going to go. I would say all the matches at TakeOver, of course, we're going to get into more detail on the live show. I'm not sure how any of them are going to go, and if we are going to get a confirmed lineup. What I do know, though, is we are getting a rematch that we wanted.
Yes, and that is Oney Lorcan versus Danny Burch. And these two guys beat the hell in a display of violence and toughness. And Wednesday night they met in a rematch.
Here we go. Oney Lorcan, Paul Burch.
Danny Burch.
Danny Burch, Oney Lorcan, Danny Burch. It was a hell of a match last time round. Let's see if they can up the violence maybe in this one.
Well, I'm going for the bald man to win.
Yeah, so
black trunks.
Bald angry man.
In black trunks.
Little strikes. And they're going to try and mat wrestle to begin with. Oh, now we go. Collar and elbow tie-up. The old favourite. Who's going to get the advantage? I mean, strength-wise, both of them very equal. We could say Oney Lorcan is Danny Burch 20 years ago, as Oney Lorcan backs Burch up into the corner, but Danny showed his experience, making sure he's deep in it, turning him round, getting the advantage on a turnbuckle. You can see, just trying to get any control. That was a stalemate then between Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan. Let's see who can take the advantage. Like I said, so much aggression in each round. It'd be interesting to see who gets the advantage early on. They're feeling each other out like a championship match. Oney Lorcan's going to go for the leg takedown, gets him, and now he's trying to get his back. So he's trying to get his left arm under him, but Burch knows this, rolls through. And again, Oney Lorcan looking for the single leg takedown. Danny Burch blocking it. Of course, got the ropes to his advantage. Referee counts here. And now Burch going to the inside. And he's not trying to snap me. He's got the cravat in there beautifully. Trying to stop the blood flow to Oney.
Oh, Lorcan tries to turn him over, but Birch keeps his grip there as tight as ever.
It is a thing of beauty, just that hold there. It's got me such a... And the more you fight it, the tighter it gets as well. That's what she said. No. Birch backs only up on the ropes. And again, going for that. And Birch adapting back into that hold, only trying to take the knee out. And again, this is just... this is first-class wrestling, as we see it. It strides between what we know and the kind of MMA style that we can really appreciate as well. And now, both men running off the ropes.
Danny Birch there winning that test of strength. Lorcan sliding underneath.
Oh,
goes for a leapfrog over, but Birch just picks the leg out of the air and drops Lorcan face first onto the mat. Very nice.
Oh, and then the uppercut by Birch. Oh.
A European uppercut by Birch, followed by an American uppercut there by Lorcan.
And you can hear the slap. And you can see the marks on the chest and the chin knocking him silly, Birch.
Danny Birch there, he's certainly got a brilliant type of British wrestling going about.
Yeah, sorry for laughing, but only just picked up Birch and just ran across to the other turnbuckle.
It was like an Alabama slam in the opposite corner.
Yeah, he didn't care. Can he get him down? Oh, no.
And we get an advert for SummerSlam.
Well, down the writing is on the wall. And Danny Birch in the corner. Only Lorcan. Oh, no.
Oh, comes charging in for a second attempt there. Birch gets the feet up, perched on the second rope. Lovely seated dropkick there.
Yeah, that was... Danny Birch was perched, wasn't he? And he got the impact. Sends Only back to the corner. And now Birch firing up.
Oh, runs in with a big forearm. I know his forearm wasn't big.
It was the impact of that. And now he sets them up. Tower of London. And no, Only Lorcan knows it. He's going to block it. What's he trying? Like half Nelson suplex? No, Danny Birch has got it now. Oh,
folds him up with a belly to back.
And then hits him with a clothesline. Oh.
But Lorcan managing to kick out.
Beautiful exchanges then by both men. But can Danny Birch put Only Lorcan away? At the moment, Only Lorcan is 1-0 up in this feud.
Go on, Danny Birch.
Do it for England, son.
The Queen and Country, Danny Birch.
But Only Lorcan blocking the suplex attempt.
Oh, dropping to one knee, a brilliant counter attempt. Both men locked in front face locks there, trying to work away at each other's midsections with punches. Tower of London off the top rope and hits it.
Off the top rope.
2. Oh. 2 and 99 100ths, but Only Lorcan managing to kick out.
I can't believe the impact there. Like I said, Only Lorcan, no place to go but down. And the fans loving it at the moment, and fair play. What can Birch do? This is just as good as their first encounter.
Well, you give me one good reason why Danny Birch shouldn't be fighting for the UK Championship.
Oh! I'll tell you why, he might have just dislocated his jaw there thanks to Only Lorcan's clothesline. That's why, now Only again.
Only Lorcan trying to take Birch out of a big clothesline, but Birch ducks it. Only Lorcan hits the mat, but catches second time round.
Oh!
And a snapmare there. Goes for the cover. 2.
Oh!
Birch there managing to get his shoulder up at 2.
2. You talk about gay abandon. Only Lorcan there just throwing everything in the wind to try and take down Danny Birch. Now both men down. Who's going to get the advantage in this slobber knocker, Dan?
Well, JR, it certainly is a slobber knocker.
Mr. Slobber Knocker.
They call me Mr. Bombastic.
Oh, Only with the uppercut, but Danny Birch seems to like it.
Egging Only Lorcan on to hit him with one more.
Oh!
Lovely headlock takedown there, and then just knees to the midsection, holding his head up there while slapping him.
Oh, Only tried to respond, but then got caught with a... Oh no! Oh, that's what beat him last time, Dan.
That is, yes.
The half
Birch.
Boston Crab. Only Lorcan trying to get it in. Oh my word!
Oh, but Lorcan kicking Birch in the back. Stomping on his head there.
Oh!
But Birch doing everything he can to fight it, and now he's just kicking Only Lorcan like a mule. But Lorcan's Relentless grabbing hold of that leg. Finally gets him turned.
Oh my God, he's got him now. Only Lorcan was standing those kicks and Birch turns him.
2, 3.
Oh!
Rolls up Lorcan, gets the 3 count.
You did it.
He's tied it up at 1-0.
He caught him out of his own game there. And yeah, Danny Burch showing the wrestling experience that he has to get the victory. Fair play. What do you think of the match, Dan?
Thought it was bloody brilliant. Fast-paced. Both men certainly gave it their all, and I look forward to seeing the third and final encounter between the two.
Well, here we go. Danny Burch thanking the fans, and only Lorcan's there.
And Burch, they're offering his hand to Lorcan. He'd be a fool not to accept this man's hand in marriage.
I'll tell you something, though. Something Rich Swann and TJP could learn from this. Danny Burch not talking so much, putting out his hand like a man.
Well, these two would make a brilliant tag team.
Well, only Lorcan, is he slapping the hand away?
He slapped the hand away, looked to be walking out of the ring. Burch is saying, look, come on, be fair, man. 2 matches, 1 apiece. What's your problem, son? What's your problem, mate? You want to fucking fight about it?
And then only Lorcan extends his hand. There you go. Sign of friendship that we always love. We always love here. One more match down between these two men.
One more match. One more match.
Look at the marks on only Lorcan's shoulder there from the boots. And what's this? Fair play. Danny Burch holding the rope for only Lorcan.
Very British.
Very good shine. Very good sort of sportsmanship there, Dan. So, we move on.
We do.
We do indeedy.
Well, the rivalry between No Way Jose and CN had steadily built in the weeks ahead of this week's show. Wednesday night, they settled their differences in singles competition, and Almas was frustrated early on a few occasions, rolling to the arena to consult Zelina Vega. At one point, after being out-wrestled and outclassed throughout the bout, Almas let his hair down in a symbol of seriousness, the way Jerry Lawler would drop the strap of his singlet.
Okay, damn, maybe things weren't that serious, but Almas certainly became more focused. A nasty kick put Jose down, and the running knee should probably have finished him. Vega, though, demanded Almas put his fun-loving rival down for the count. Hang on a minute. So, I think this is it now. Big knees. So we see CN and No Way Jose.
Oh, CN running in with the big knees to Jose in the corner.
And there she is, the former Thea Trinidad, now known as Vega. Zelina Vega. But yeah, she wants CN to finish it properly. And that's a hammerlock DDT. And No Way Jose has been beaten by CN.
3-11 boy, pick for Vic.
Well, fair play, yeah. He hasn't won in a long time, and maybe Vega has changed things. Look, she looks happy there. Well, after the match, Dan, Vega announced that if Johnny Gargano was looking for an opponent in Brooklyn, he had found one. Are you looking forward to maybe seeing Johnny Gargano versus CN at TakeOver?
Yes, it could be a very good matchup between the two. I mean, with his Johnny wrestling gimmick now going on, I'd like to see how that turns out against the 3-11 boy.
Yeah, well, the match itself was more about putting over the dynamic between Almas and Vega than stealing the show or providing any great finality to the programme. The revelation of Almas versus Gargano for TakeOver gives us another potentially fantastic match to round out one of the best cards on paper this year. So we'd have Gargano versus CN. We'd have the tag team titles on the line, Santity versus the Authors of Pain. We'd have the women's title on the line, Asuka versus Ember Moon. Of course, Bobby Roode versus Drew McIntyre for the NXT title. So there's just one more match to fill, which will be, I guess, Aleister Black. So that is a hell of a card, Dan, isn't it, you know?
Yes, and, to be on the night before SummerSlam, I think SummerSlam's going to have a lot to live up to with its 4-hour show, 2 hours kickoff show, 6 hours worth of wrestling there just for one pay-per-view. Is it a bit too much?
Well, this is the things that we are going to discuss on the kickoff shows. One last thing about NXT, I mean, we should say that Vega has helped Almas' character exponentially already, but now it should be interesting to see if the results in the push for the Mexican-born superstar or if she ends up overshadowing him. That's what CN has got to be careful about. What have you thought of NXT update this month, Dan?
Yeah, it's certainly built into a lot of storylines, and it's trying to change your opinion on like the tag team match outcome, because Authors of Pain have just been running through everyone. Bobby Roode's been running through everyone. Oscar's been running through everyone, but the way things are going, it seems like the tide could change. All three dominant champions could lose their title on one night.
I mean, honestly, I'm not lying. I think this has been one of the greatest months on NXT that we've watched, NXT Update, because of the storylines. We've just seen, Santity and the Authors of Pain. Like I say, I never thought I'd see Authors of Pain in trouble. I've seen that earlier and I'm thinking now, shit, Santity looked good with that, didn't they? The Ember Moon story, winning, the first couple of weeks on NXT, and then the Oscar confrontation last week, was something that will be remembered for a very long time. And like everything else, well, the Cassius Ohno, Hideo Itami story, and Aleister Black looking so dominating. My only minus of it would be the treatment of Drew McIntyre, but I'll get more into that in the live show. What's been better this month, Dan? Has it been 205 Live or NXT?
NXT.
Yeah. I think NXT's pissed over it. What would be your match of the month, if you could name one?
I think the only lock in...
what's his name?
Danny Burch.
The only lock in Danny Burch. Couple of matches have been brilliant. Definitely above par, and I'd like to see more of them.
Yeah, no, honestly, that really stole the show for me as well. It'll be interesting what they do going forward as we wait for the trilogy of that. But yeah, NXT Takeover and everything like this. Dan, go on.
More on NXT. 24,000 views.
Now, thank you everybody for viewing the NXT content on the YouTube channel. Obviously, a bit excited for the Oscar Ember Moon match. We will have 25,000 views by the next NXT Takeover Brooklyn event, which is just next week. But this starts off a huge week for us, Dan.
Friday night, WNR117 SummerSlam 1992. Saturday at midnight, we are live with NXT Takeover Brooklyn 3 Kickoff, as we look at the latest episode of NXT and give you all the build-up. What will surely be a glorious event.
But Dan, that's not all, because then Sunday night 11 p.m. live, the WNR bring you SummerSlam. So we look at the latest episode 205 live and run through the cards as we get ready for the biggest party of the summer.
Well, we'll be all over social media, but if you want to contact us...
Well, we're on Twitter at WWE Network Review, or...
at Vince McDan, WWE.
I'm at J_Rollins. We've got a friend on Twitter, Dan.
We've got Mini Chris Benoit. We've got Mini Chris Benoit. He's at Mini Chris Benoit. He's just trying to make the world a better place.
We're on Facebook.
This week, come and find our page and give us a like with a WWE Network Review. We've got nearly 1,000 followers on our Facebook page. Or you can come and find me and add me as a friend. I am Vince McDan. We're across all the Google platforms.
Yes, we are. Send us an email at WNRpodcast@gmail.com. Google Plus, the W Network Review. We're on YouTube as well. Subscribe to the W Network Review podcast and watch all the latest videos. The podcast go up there at the same time as to do other places like SoundCloud.
On your phone.
And also Spreaker Radio. We'll be doing our live shows next weekend. Don't forget, Saturday and Sundays, all across our social media. Click on the links. Watch us live. Like I say, midnight and 11 p.m. on the Sunday. And iTunes, where you can download, subscribe, rate and review there. Don't forget, next week we've got another big podcast. 25 years since WWE Summerslam 1992 at Wembley Stadium in good old England.
My cousin was there.
Your cousin was there. We're going to talk all about personal moments for us, and we're going to talk about the stories behind it as well. It is not to be missed. If anybody enjoyed WrestleMania 3, then SummerSlam 92 is going to be right up your alley. That has been everything. I have been James Rowlands, and as always, I was joined by
Dan White.
Thanks for this, everybody. We'll see you next week for the huge weekend. Bye.
Bye.